Chapter 2065. Come on, it's not that simple. Girls from the countryside aren't that naive anymore. They're asking for hundreds of thousands of yuan as betrothal gifts, and some even want to buy a house or a car, or even a building in the city. That's a big appetite. That's just a drop in the ocean for a superstar like you. You probably have hundreds of millions of yuan in assets, right? Hua Min laughed. I do, but whether or not I'm willing to give it to you is completely different from when someone asks me for it. Do you understand? I understand. Hua Min nodded and smiled. Jiang Yi tilted his head and saw Hua Min smile. His heart began to beat faster. Dr. Hua. Yeah. Hua Min looked up. You look really good when you smile. Jiang Yi looked at her profile seriously. Ahem. Hua Min awkwardly turned his head to look out the window. Soon, they arrived at South Side Recuperation Center. Luckily, they weren't late. Thank you, Mr. Jiang. Hua Min thanked him politely before he got out of the car. You're welcome, Dr. Hua. See you later. Jiang Yi smiled mysteriously. Hua Min didn't have time to think about the meaning behind his words. He quickly grabbed his bag and left for his morning meeting. After he was done, Hua Min returned to his office to see patients. Chief, you only have 3 patients in this morning. A few professors from the province will be here in the afternoon for an academic conference. Chen Jia placed some documents on Hua Min's desk. Okay, leave it here. I'll take a look right away. When the first patient walked in, Hua Min looked up and was dumbfounded. You again. Hua Min was surprised to see Jiang Yi. I told you I'd see you later. I'm going to do a full body checkup this time, so I have to take a look at my mental health as well. Dr. Hua, can you take a look at me and see if I have depression? Jiang Yi sat across from Hua Min and smiled. Don't joke around, how could you have depression? You're such an open-minded person, you're right. I've always been a big-hearted person. I rarely take things too hard, but Hua Xiqian and Nemo Shui look like they're sick. Hua Min didn't react to Jiang Ye's sudden mention of those 2 people. He just continued to organize the information. Shui has schizophrenia. Jiang Yi said. Whatever happens to Mo Shui has nothing to do with me, Hua Min replied calmly. She didn't have it before, but she became like this after she got together with Hua Xiqian. That's why she often takes drugs to relieve her stress. I think Hua Xiqian isn't a simple person to be able to torture a normal person into schizophrenia. Maybe his condition is even worse than Mo Shui's. You've known him for so long. Haven't you noticed that he's mentally unstable? Jiang Yi asked as he inched closer to Hua Min. I'm not interested in Hua Xiqian's condition. Even if he has an incurable disease, it has nothing to do with me. Mr. Jiang, I'm very grateful that you didn't come late when I got on the bus this morning, but please don't waste my precious time, okay? There are patients who really need it later. Hua Min was losing his patience. Okay, I'll be going then. Anyway, you have to be careful. Whether it's Mo Shui or Yan Ruoshi, they seem to hate you to the core. Jiang Yi gave Hua Min a piece of advice before leaving reluctantly. Hua Min didn't know what this man wanted. He would appear from time to time and say strange things. Then, he would disappear without a trace. He didn't look like a superstar at all. Jia, let the next patient in. Hua Min pressed the intercom. The door to the consultation room was pushed open and a young woman walked in. She was dressed in designer clothes and looked very intimidating. She placed a Chanel handbag on Hua Min's desk without hesitation. Dr. Hua, please take a look at me. I heard that you're an amazing doctor who can cure any disease, the woman said in a sarcastic tone. Hua Min looked up and was slightly surprised. Wei Ying, why are you here? Chapter 2066. I'm here to see a doctor. Aren't you a great doctor? Wei Ying didn't come with good intentions and her tone was unfriendly. Wei Ying, is there a problem between us? Or is there a misunderstanding? Huamin took off his black-rimmed glasses and looked at the domineering young woman in all seriousness. What do you think? Wei Ying glared at Huamin. So, you came to me to talk about Hui Yanyan, right? Huamin guessed why Wei Ying came. So, don't you think you owe me an explanation? To be honest, Hui Yanyan and I are friends, but it doesn't mean I can interfere with her privacy. She tried her best to protect my daughter during the kidnapping and was beaten until her ribs were broken. I can't just stand by and do nothing. As for the relationship between her and your husband, I really don't know. So, you're going to refuse? You don't want to admit what you did? No. I don't even know what to admit. Shouldn't you ask your husband's opinion on this matter? Huamin couldn't understand why Wei Ying went to an outsider instead of asking him for a divorce or an affair. What kind of logic was this? At the mention of this, Wei Ying seemed very agitated. Mingxi wasn't like this before. He was always nice to me and always talked about that bitch Hui Yanyan. She was the one who shamelessly clung onto my husband. But my husband never talked to her. I don't know why things didn't turn out this way. After we got married, everything changed. He no longer cares about me. Even on my birthday, he used the excuse that he was busy and didn't come to accompany me. However, he had a lot of time to have afternoon tea with that bitch Hui Yanyan. Huamin, I don't understand why you're helping that bitch and going against me. My brother and sister-in-law are your good friends. You shouldn't treat the Wei family like this, right? Wei Ying was angry at Huamin, so she kept criticizing Huamin. It's true that I'm good friends with your brother and sister-in-law, but there's no conflict between us. Hui Yanyan and I aren't close friends to begin with. I just helped her out when she was being bullied. If she hadn't helped us this time, I wouldn't have had much contact with her. I don't care what's going on between you and Hui Yanyan, but to me, she's my savior, and I'm very grateful to her. But I still stand by my words, I won't interfere with her personal matters. Cut the crap. Tell me, where is Hui Yanyan now? In the morning, Wei Ying went to the first hospital with her people but found that Hui Yanyan had been discharged. He checked the house she had lived in before and found that she had moved a long time ago. In Wei Ying's opinion, Huamin must have known where she was, and that was why he came to South Side this morning to make a scene. She was discharged. As for where she went, I don't know. You're lying. How could you not know? You must have hidden her. A few days ago, someone saw you with her daughter. Wei Ying obviously didn't believe him. Yes, but at that time, Hui Yanyan hadn't been discharged yet. I was just taking care of her and her daughter. I did arrange a place for her to live, but she didn't go. So, I really don't know where she went. I don't have to lie to you. Instead of asking me, why don't you ask Shen Mingxi? Huamin was a bit angry. If I could ask him, why would I ask you? Wei Ying was furious. Then it's useless to tell me this. I don't care about other people's private matters. Miss Wei, please leave. I have to go to work. Faced with Wei Ying's unreasonable and rude behavior, Huamin asked her to leave. Chapter 2067. Huamin, you're defending a bitch. You're obviously not a good person. Let's wait and see. Wei Ying was sure that Huamin was defending Hui Yanyan, but Huamin really didn't know. After Wei Ying left in a huff, Huamin's mood was also affected. What was wrong with him today? Why were there only 3 patients, and 2 of them were enemies? Huamin took a sip of the coffee Chen Jia made for him. Then, he took out his cell phone and dialed Hui Yanyan's number. Sorry, the subscriber you dialed has turned off her phone. Please try again later. She turned off her phone. Huamin muttered to himself. Hui Yanyan had been out of the hospital for a few days now. She hadn't contacted her. She thought that Huasi's death was too much of a blow to Yanyan. Now, it seemed that Yanyan didn't accept her offer of a place to stay, so she must have other plans. The biggest possibility was that she was with Shen Mingxi. Wei Ying had gone crazy and wanted to take revenge on her. This is truly a terrifying thing. Huamin didn't know much about Shen Mingxi, and they hadn't talked much about it, but this was indeed a melodramatic love triangle story. Once the news of Wei Ying's divorce came out, the stock market would be affected. The stock market of both the Shen and Wei families would be affected. There was another patient outside the door. Huamin treated him, prescribed him some medicine, and took some time to rest. Coincidentally, in the WeChat group, Zhu Lingling, who was at home, started gossiping. Zhu Lingling, Master, come out and chat for a while. Huamin, aren't you busy at your shop today? Zhu Lingling, not busy. It's been so cold lately, and people who aren't close friends don't want to go out shopping or eat. My business is so bad. I'm starving. Please take care of me, Madam Wei, Madam Qin, Jiang Xiaowei, someone come quickly. The wife of the Municipal Public Security Bureau's chief Gao is so shameless. As a direct descendant of a high-ranking official, she actually begs us ordinary people to provide for her. Huamin, I agree with the comment above. Mrs. Director, can you be more shameless? Zhu Lingling, what's the point of saving face if you can't eat it? Huamin, where's Buyuan? Let me take a look. Zhu Lingling, I went to my morning class. My mother-in-law and the nanny took me there. I just finished checking the accounts in the shop. Huamin, slightly, what are you doing? Jiang Xiaowei, at the old house. His grandparents miss him, so I came back with him. I'm staying for lunch. Huamin, where's Wei Liao? Jiang Xiaowei, he's still in the company. There's been a lot of things going on lately. He has to redo a lot of business with the Shen family. Huamin, now that you mention it, I remember that your sister-in-law came to make trouble for me. Jiang Xiaowei, what? Make trouble for you? Zhu Lingling, her sister-in-law. Wei Ying. Then, Huamian told the two of them everything that had happened, including the whole story. Jiang Xiaowei, my sister-in-law really likes young Master Shen. She's going crazy after the divorce. Luckily, she wasn't home when I came back for lunch. Otherwise, she'd start nagging again when she saw me. Huamin, I'm sorry for dragging you into this. Slightly. Sob. Hug. Jiang Xiaowei, it's not your fault. It's just that she's too much of a princess. My in-laws spoil her and she gets whatever she wants since she was a child. She's never been frustrated, so she can't stand it when things don't go her way. It's as if the whole world has wronged her. It's good to teach her a lesson so she won't be so smug in the future. Jiang Xiaowei didn't like Wei Ying very much, so she kept a distance from her. Zhu Lingling, then Wei Liao must feel bad for his sister. Jiang Xiaowei, if he does, then he'll help his sister. Besides, it's not up to us to decide the divorce. It's between the two of them. If young Master Shen doesn't want to live with Wei Ying anymore, who can do anything about it? Zhu Lingling, Mian, do you think young Master Shen and Wei Ying divorced because of Hui Yanyan? Is she really that attractive? I don't believe it. I know what Hui Yanyan has been like all these years. If he really likes Hui Yanyan, why did he marry Wei Ying? It doesn't make sense. Analyze it. I really want to hear this gossip. Chapter 2068. Mean, there's nothing to analyze. I can't say for sure, but one thing I'm sure of is that he cares a lot about Hui Yanyan. When Hui Yanyan was hospitalized, he often came to visit her with flowers and fruits. Jiang Xiaowei, then there's definitely something going on. When Shen Mingxi and Wei Ying came to our old house for dinner, they didn't bring anything. If he brought flowers and fruits, it means he cares. Zhu Lingling, fine, we poor people don't understand the world of rich people like you. On one side, he has a beautiful wife from a rich family. On the other side, he has a down-and-out ex-boyfriend with a child. Young Master Shen's taste is unique. Let's not talk about it. Do you want to have dinner tonight? I really want to eat roasted pig feet. Jiang Xiaowei, okay, I want to eat too. Mean, I have a seminar this afternoon. I'll see when it'll be over. If it's early, I'll go find you. Zhu Lingling, whoa, Dr. Hua is different now. He's a busy man. Jiang Xiaowei, he's Vice Director Hua now. Please watch your words, Ms. Zhu Lingling. Mean, do you too want to die? Don't make fun of me. I'll take the twins to bully your son. Ha. Zhu Lingling, don't. Please don't. Every time Gao Buiyuan is ravaged by the twins, he's traumatized. Jiang Xiaowei, so, can we call off the engagement? We want to break off the engagement. Zhu Lingling, yes, I agree. We'll break off the engagement. Mean, I'm sorry. No refunds, no exchanges. Ha ha ha. Friends of many years chatted happily even if they didn't meet face to face. After chatting with them for a while, Mean felt much better. At noon, he went to the cafeteria with Qin Jia. In the afternoon, he started working on the seminar. Imperial Star Headquarters, President Su, something happened on set. And rushed in. What's wrong? Su Yu raised his head. There was an accident on the set of the historical drama, The Wanderer. The leading actress, Miss Nie Lingxian, fell from the pressure and is unconscious. She has been sent to the first hospital for emergency treatment. How could this be? How could something suddenly happen to the pressure? Su Yu frowned and stood up. We're not sure yet. We're still investigating the exact reason, but this is the last scene. If we don't finish filming today, we won't be able to finish filming on time. If we can't submit it, we won't be able to broadcast it on time. It will be delayed for a long time. Not only will we suffer heavy losses, we won't be able to answer to the SARFT. We're in urgent need of a body double. Isn't it easy to find a substitute? Then why don't we just go and find one? Su Yu was also anxious. A stunt double is easy, but in this scene, there are a lot of Miss Nie's front faces. A stunt double's back isn't enough. So, I was wondering if we should let her younger sister do it in her place. His sister. She had a younger sister. Then think of a way to contact him. The pay isn't a problem. I did, but his sister refused because she doesn't want to show her face. What's the point of asking me if she refused? Think of a way. Su Yu was also furious. No, the problem is. Miss Nie's sister is Hua Min's good friend. So, President Su, I was wondering if you could ask Hua Min to help, Mian's friend. Who? I think I know him. Su Yu knew all of Hua Min's friends. Chapter 2069. Her name is Nie Lingxi. I think her nickname is Cici or something. She looks a lot like her sister. She'd be perfect as a substitute, and said slowly. Oh, it's her. Su Yu said thoughtfully. He wasn't familiar with Cici because she was Rick's ex-girlfriend. He didn't have many opportunities to interact with her, and even though they met a few times, they didn't have much interaction. What do you think? President Sue, you should give Miss Hua a call. I think she'd be willing to help with something as trivial as this. And urged. However, Sue thought about it for a long time and shook his head. Forget it. We'll take responsibility for the losses. It's a business matter anyway, I don't want Mian to owe me a favor. Let's leave it at that. You can leave now. To his surprise, Sue refused. But President Sue, and wanted to say something, but before he could, Sue interrupted him. Leave. Don't mention this again. Sue had buried his feelings for Huamin deep in his heart. Although it wasn't obvious on the surface, he cared more about it. He was very envious of Qin Chu's selfless love for Huamin that didn't ask for anything in return. Qin Chu always put Huamin first. Therefore, he decided that he'd rather take a loss than let Huamin do someone a favor and help him. And was very depressed. He didn't know what his boss was thinking, but he knew that Huamin could do it with just one word. After thinking about it, and summoned up his courage and called Huamin. After working for Huamin and the twins for 3 years, he had some personal feelings for them. Hello. An. Huamin was in a meeting, but when he saw An's call, he walked to the side and picked it up quietly. She knew that this man would not call her easily. If he called, it must be something important. President Hua, something happened here. It's like this. And told Huamin the whole story. So, what can I do for you? Huamin asked calmly. You just need to call Miss Nia's younger sister, that girl named Cici, and persuade her to replace her sister in the remaining scenes. That way, we can finish filming smoothly and won't delay the schedule later. Okay, I'll call right away. President Hua, President Sue doesn't know about this yet. I secretly called you behind his back. He didn't want to trouble you, so he'd rather take the loss himself. I understand. Sue is doing this for my own good. I know. Leave this to me. I'll send Cici to the set in a bit. That's great. Thank you, President Hua. And was very happy. Don't mention it. Sueyu's business is my business. Huamin rarely helped Sueyu, so he was happy as well. She immediately contacted Cici. Cici was also very helpful. As soon as Huamin asked, she took a taxi to the set without hesitation. Sueyu took people to the first hospital to check on the injured Nieling Xian. After making sure that she was fine, he left with peace of mind. Inside the Bentley, Sueyu thought of the set. What's the arrangement there? Did you inform all the partners about the delay? And lowered his head and didn't speak. I'm talking to you. Didn't you hear me? Or are you throwing a tantrum and pretending to be mute? Sueyu looked at him and asked, amused. President Sue, Miss Nia's younger sister has finished all the scenes as a stunt double. Didn't her younger sister refuse? After saying this, Sueyu immediately realized something. He glared at him and said, You called Huamin behind my back. President Sue, I'm sorry. I did it for the company's benefit. And lowered his head in shame. Chapter 2070. That's ridiculous. What did I tell you? Sueyu was furious. I just wanted to help President Hua. It's a piece of cake for him. It might cause a huge loss to our company. I'd rather suffer a huge loss than let her stand up for me. Sueyu hadn't lost his composure in a long time. He scolded Shaoan from head to toe. Where is Nielingxi right now? Sueyu asked angrily after he calmed down. She's already on set. And answered in a low voice. Let's go and see. Huamin persuaded Cici to finish the rest of her sister's scenes, and Sueyu was worried that something unexpected might happen. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to explain to Huamin. Therefore, she, who almost never visited actors on set, went to Imperial Star's exclusive outdoor shooting location. It was a resort with beautiful scenery. Because it was winter, there were trees and snow everywhere. It was very beautiful. The actors and actresses were wearing winter costumes and seemed to be shooting a fight scene. Jian Tong was the female lead in this movie, but she didn't have many scenes. Originally, the movie was to promote Nialing Xian, so Jian Tong was cast as a guest star. To promote the movie, Jian Tong was also on set, but the scene was very grand. 4 or 5 assistants were busy serving tea, holding umbrellas, and massaging shoulders. When Suyu walked in, he saw this scene. Cece was stabbed by her opponent, and then she was lying on the snow. Cut. Please, Miss Nia, can you not look so stiff? The director seemed to be very displeased. I'm sorry, director. I don't have any acting experience before. I'm a bit nervous, Cece apologized. I don't know why you're nervous. If you keep shooting like this, we're going to call it a day. Everyone is waiting for you. Even Miss Yiling is waiting for you here. You're such a big shot. Even your sister doesn't get such treatment. Do you think we'll treat you like a god just because you're a stunt double? The director's words became more and more unpleasant. Cece was a bit apologetic. I'm so sorry. I'll try my best. Let's do it again. The director said angrily. Cece struggled to get up from the snow. It was freezing and she was exhausted from all the tossing and turning. His cheeks were red from the cold, and his fingers were starting to stiffen. She had never intended to be a stunt double. Even if she was offered money, she wouldn't do it. However, Huamin's sister had called her personally. Cece was duty-bound because she felt that Huamin was especially good to her and had been helping her and Rick. Although they were no longer together, she was still very grateful. Cece followed the script and did the same thing again. Her opponent slashed her sword and Sisalik was lying on the ground. Crack. Why are you so fast? How fake. Who would fall down right after being stabbed? Do you have any common sense? I'm sorry, director, Cece apologized profusely. You haven't eaten pork, but you've seen pigs run. I really have to hand it to you. I really don't know where they found such an idiot like you. You're even stupider than your sister. The director's unintentional complaint completely touched Cece's bottom line. Director, if I'm not good at acting, you can just scold me. Why do you have to scold my sister? Isn't my sister dedicated enough? She acted with you in the snow and ice. If you didn't check the props properly, she's still in the hospital. Luckily, her life isn't in danger. Otherwise, do you know how worried my family would be if she died? Who's not born to be an actress? I can learn if I'm stupid. But as a director, do you only know how to scold and humiliate people? It's obvious that your character isn't that great, is it? Cece's sudden outburst shocked everyone on set. She actually scolded the director. Chapter 2071. The director was even more dumbfounded. He was a famous director, but he was being scolded by a mere stunt double. What did you say? Say that again. Let me tell you, who do you think you are? I can kick you out anytime. Do you think I want to be an actor? If my friend didn't call me and invite me, I wouldn't even be here. Cece was also furious. Someone, get this woman out of here. The director went crazy. He wanted to kick Cece out of the set. Just then, Suyu walked up and said coldly, "Who's kicking out someone I personally picked?" Suyu's appearance immediately caused an uproar. Everyone immediately surrounded him. Wow, President Su, why are you here? Oh my god, is that really President Su? I've been in the company for years, and this is the first time I've seen President Su in person. I thought he never came to the set. A few actors were so excited that they couldn't even form a coherent sentence. Seeing Su Yu, Jian Tong immediately stood up and walked over. Why didn't you tell me you were coming to visit? Are you here to give me a surprise? She thought Su Yu was here to see her. Who can tell me what's going on? Su Yu ignored Jian Tong. He looked directly at the director and then at Cici. Ah, President Su, this is what happened. The director was about to speak when Su Yu interrupted him. Shut up, I want to hear what she has to say. Su Yu looked at Cici and said, look at your sister. Su Yu looked at Cici. I'm very sorry about what happened to your sister. I've already gone to the hospital to see her. She's not in any danger, and the doctor said she'll be fine after a few days of rest. She's probably too tired. I've already asked someone to investigate the pressure, and I'll definitely give your sister an explanation. Thank you very much for coming to help us at this time. Su Yu's attitude surprised everyone on set. He actually spoke so gently to the stunt double. Even Jian Tong, who was watching from the side, felt jealous. Plus, a big company like Imperial Star won't shirk responsibility. As long as my sister isn't in danger, I'm fine. As for coming here, I was against it at first because I'm just an ordinary person who doesn't want to show my face. I don't have any experience, and I was afraid I wouldn't be able to do a good job. After Sister Mian called me, I realized that we're in a hurry. It's a special situation, so I hope we can understand each other. Although I might not be able to do a good job, I'll do my best. Thank you, Miss Nya, Su Yu. Then he turned to the director, Director Wang. I think you're tired of working with Imperial Star. The director's expression immediately changed when he heard this. No, I didn't mean that. President Su, you've misunderstood. We've worked together for so long, don't you know that I've always been very strict when it comes to handling details? So what I said just now was purely about the matter and not the person. It's really just because I'm strict at work. Also, I didn't know that she was someone you invited, President Su. Please forgive me, President Su. The director didn't dare to say anything in front of Su Yu, because one word from Su Yu could decide his life or death. One word from Su Yu could easily end his career of more than 10 years as a director. Therefore, no matter what, he couldn't afford to offend a big shot like Su Yu. Regardless of how many people were on set, Director Wang immediately apologized like a villain, wagging his tail and begging for mercy from Su Yu. Chapter 2072. Director Wang, what's the point of apologizing to me? I wasn't the one you were being rude to. Su Yu looked at him coldly. Yes, President Su, you're right. I should apologize to Miss Nya. Miss Nya, I'm sorry, it was my bad attitude just now. Please forgive me. Compared to his attitude just now, Su Yu's attitude was completely different. Cici wasn't used to it and was speechless. The entertainment industry was really messy. You don't have to apologize, I just don't like it when you talk bad about my sister. We don't have much time, let's continue filming. I hope everything goes well. Cici wasn't the type to cause trouble. After Su Yu stood up for her, she knew when to stop and continued filming. Su Yu sat on the side and watched. The director didn't dare to make things difficult for Cici anymore. Jian Tong went up to Su Yu and said coquettishly, President Su, you seem to treat this girl quite well. Don't tell me you like her. Su Yu turned his head and glanced at Jian Tong coldly. Your IQ is plummeting. Are you going through menopause? Jian Tong's face froze for a second, then she forced a smile. President Su, why are you still mad? I was just joking with you. Don't make jokes like this in the future. It makes people sick. Suyu used to think that Jian Tong was a woman who knew her place. However, for some reason, she was getting more and more out of hand. She even bickered with the twins in front of him. What a petty woman. I know, don't be mad at me, okay? Jian Tong pretended to be cute. I'm not mad, I don't need to do something like this. Suyu continued to stare at the set. He was afraid that Cece would be bullied. In fact, and knew that President Su didn't care about Cece as a girl. He cared that Cece was invited by Huamin. To Suyu, Huamin was still a person that he could never forget. Huamin was the most important person in his heart. If anything happened, it would be hard to explain to Huamin. In short, Suyu cared too much about Huamin's feelings. Jian Tong secretly took out her phone and took a selfie of herself and Suyu's side profile. Then, after some editing, he posted on Weibo. She wrote that it felt good to have someone come to visit her on a cold day. It was just that a certain someone was always so cold, colder than a polar bear. The Weibo post immediately caused an uproar. Suyu had not posted on Weibo for a long time. His fans were almost in despair. Jian Tong's post immediately attracted the attention of many fans. Wow! Goddess, you're so lucky. Did your boyfriend visit you? President Su's side profile is so handsome, it's a perfect side profile, so this is a blatant public display of affection. I'm so jealous. Goddess, hurry up and get married. President Su is super perfect. Seeing the two of you so happy, I believe in love again. Jian Tong's scheming immediately attracted a lot of comments from netizens and became the #1 trending topic on Weibo. The keyword was that Suyu visited Jian Tong on set. The twins were browsing Weibo at home when they saw the post and immediately exploded. Pudding immediately sent a video message. Suyu took out his phone and walked to the side before picking it up. Hello, Miss Pudding. Handsome Su, where are you? Pudding asked in all seriousness. I'm on set, Suyu answered honestly. So you're on set. Did you go to visit bitch Jian? Pudding suppressed her anger and asked coldly. Who made up the rumor about visiting Jian Tong? Suyu knew that the twins didn't like Jian Tong, so he tried not to provoke them. Chapter 2073. Don't play dumb with me. Look at the two of you, you're the #1 trending topic on Weibo. Bitch Jian posted a selfie of the two of you. I told you 800 times not to be with bitch Jian. Even if you don't like my auntie, you can't be with bitch Jian. You won't listen to me. I'm so sad. No, I have to tell mommy about this. Hey, don't, Pudding, don't be impulsive. Let's talk this out. Hearing that Pudding was going to complain to Huamin, Suyu couldn't stay calm anymore. He panicked as if Huamin was his wife. How can you talk this out? Do you look like you can talk this out? Pudding was angry. Pudding, I really don't know anything about Weibo or trending topics. Give me some time, I'll take care of it. After hanging up, Suyu opened Weibo on his phone and immediately understood what was going on. He walked back to Jian Tong with a cold face. Who asked you to post a selfie? Aw. I just took it for fun. I can use it to promote my new show. Jian Tong purposely tried to find an excuse. I don't need you to promote your new show. Even if you want to, don't drag me into it. Jian Tong, I'm telling you one last time, stop creating hype between us and draw a line between us. If you don't blame me for kicking you out of the entertainment industry. Suyu really didn't like his daughter who thought too highly of herself. Jian Tong's repeated actions made Suyu furious. Jian Tong lowered her head and didn't dare to say anything. Suyu left in a huff. Are you done? Suyu looked at the director coldly. We're done, President Su. We're only left with post-production, then let's call it a day. I'll treat everyone to dinner tonight, it'll be a wrap party. After speaking, Suyu glanced at Cece and said in a low voice, You come too. Thank you for your hard work today. It's okay, President Su. You don't have to be so polite with me. Cece was just about to refuse. Since President Su said so, you can do it. Don't worry, and added. Jian Tong did not dare to show up at the celebration dinner because she had offended Suyu. She lied that she was not feeling well and left the set first. At the dinner party in Imperial Star that night, because Jian Tong wasn't there, everyone was at ease. He didn't want this #1 sister of Imperial Star Entertainment to keep talking, which would make it hard for everyone to eat. Seeing that Suyu took special care of this little girl named Cece, everyone took the initiative to propose a toast. Cece couldn't hold her liquor. After a few glasses, she was a little tipsy. Miss Nya, I'm really sorry. I misunderstood and was too strict with you. To be honest, you're quite talented in acting. Have you ever thought about debuting? I can get you a movie and help you increase your popularity. Plus, with your relationship with President Su, you'll definitely become famous. Then, you'll gain both fame and fortune. The director stopped being rude to Cece and started praising Cece like a grandson. He even tried to persuade her to debut. It had to be said that people were just so realistic. Cece shook her head. It's okay, director. I know I'm not cut out for that. You don't have to say nice things. If my friend didn't persuade me to come, I wouldn't have come to be my sister's stunt double. Plus, it's hard enough to have an actress in my family. My parents don't want me to be in the entertainment industry, and I don't like it either. Thank you for your kindness. After Cece refused, the director awkwardly left with his glass. Only then did Cece walk up to Suyu with her glass. President Su, thank you for taking care of me. Cece looked at Suyu sincerely and thanked him. Not only did she thank him for her sister, but she also thanked him for standing up for her today. Chapter 2074. You're welcome. Since you're Mion's friend, we're all friends. Don't worry about your sister, I'll take care of her, Emichim, I know. Let me propose a toast to you. Thank you, President Su. Cece truly felt that what Suyu did this time was very manly. It made one's heart feel warm. Since Cece proposed a toast, Suyu couldn't refuse. So, after clinking their glasses, he downed his drink. Then, Cece drank a few more glasses with the other actors on set. When she came back from the washroom, she was a little drunk. President Su, Miss Nya is drunk. And whispered into Suyu's ear. Why don't you send her home? Suyu wasn't sure what to do. But I don't know where she lives. She's so drunk, she might not remember. Why don't I call President Hua and ask him to pick her up? I think President Hua might know her address, and suggested. Suyu looked at his watch and felt that it wasn't too late, so he nodded. And immediately called Huamin. Huamin had just finished working overtime and was about to get off work. When he received Anne's call, he called Qin Chu and told him about the situation in advance. Then, he drove over to pick Cece up. When Huamin walked into the private room, everyone fell silent. President Hua, she's here. And pointed at the drunk Cece. Huamin frowned slightly. Why did she drink so much? I didn't force her to drink. She seemed to be in a bad mood and kept drinking herself, Suyu quickly explained. I'm not blaming you. What are you afraid of? Are you guilty? Huamin teased him on purpose. Suyu, no one at Imperial Star dared to say anything. They watched as Huamin teased their big boss on purpose. Their mouths were so wide open that an egg could fit in them. The insensible director did not know Huamin very well. When they saw the woman wearing a white coat and glasses, they deliberately teased her. "Hey, beauty, are you trying to seduce us with your uniform?" "Shut up." Suyuk tilted his head and glared at him with murderous eyes. The director was so scared that he immediately shut up. Huamin walked over and helped Cece up. Smelling the smell of alcohol, he frowned and said, "I'll take her away. You guys continue. Shaoan, drive them home." Suyu's next sentence implied that he was worried, but there were too many people. In the end, he didn't say it out loud, but understood what his boss meant. He nodded and walked Huamin and Cece out. "President Hua, where are we going?" "I don't know where Cece lives now. How about you take her to my house first?" Huamin decided to bring Cece home at the last minute. "Okay." And drove the two of them safely to South Hill Manor. After helping Huamin take Cece to the bedroom, and left. "What's going on?" Looking at the drunk Cece, Mr. Chin leaned against the door and looked at them. "Cece's drunk. I don't know where she lives, so I brought her home. This girl is still the same as a few years ago. She hasn't changed at all." Chin Chu glanced at Cece's face and recalled the days when she was with Rick. Huamin was about to speak when Cece mumbled, "Rick, you bastard. Why did you give up on me?" Hearing this, Chin Chu and Huamin looked at each other. "Cece, you're drunk." Huamin comforted her in a soft voice. "I want to see Rick, I want to see him. Please, let me see him." Cece was completely out of it, crying as she spoke. Huamin's heart ached for her. Chapter 2075. Cece. "Rick, he's not here," Huamin comforted her in a serious tone. But Cece seemed to be in a bad mood. People say that when a person is drunk, their suppressed feelings will be magnified infinitely. "I want to see him, you know. I really like Rick. Actually, he's the man I like the most. He's also the first person I truly fell in love with. In the past few years when I was abroad, every time I saw someone who looked like him, I would chase after that person. I would check to see if it was him looking for me. I can't forget, I really can't forget the past. I still miss the days when we were together. I really wish I could turn back time. That way, I wouldn't have done anything wrong and made him unhappy." Because Cece was drunk, her words were incoherent, but Huamin and Chin Chu both heard her clearly. "Honey, what should we do?" Huamin panicked and asked Mr. Chin for help. "Then let him see. Are you crazy? Rick is in New Orleans, thousands of miles away." Huamin thought her husband was joking. Unexpectedly, Mr. Chin picked up his phone, found Rick on WeChat, and sent him a video call. Rick was having a meeting with a few members of his family. He was talking about a very serious matter. When he saw Chin Chu's video call, he froze for a second before picking it up. Chin Chu had never sent him a video call before, so it must be something important. The moment he picked up, he saw a girl sitting on the sofa across from him. She was wearing a cute princess long-sleeve white sweater and jeans, and her long hair was down to her waist. Her round cheeks were flushed red. At that moment, Rick felt a part of his heart thump wildly. That was Cece, that's right, it was Cece, the girl he liked even though he hadn't seen her for 3 years. He didn't have time to think about why Cece was with Chin Chu. He just stared at the image on the screen, afraid that it would disappear at any moment. Huamin held Cece in her arms and pointed at Rick. "Cece, look, this is Rick. Didn't you want to see him? He's here." "Rick? Is it really Rick?" Cece looked up and was dumbfounded when she saw Rick. Rick was wearing a black Godfather outfit, which was very unusual. There was a slightly murderous aura between his eyebrows. Compared to a few years ago, the current Rick was indeed much colder and more heartless. She. Rick hadn't spoken Chinese for a long time, especially since it was his first time saying it. He was actually calling her name, so he seemed very stiff. Cece was stunned for a second, and then burst into tears. Rick, why did you abandon me? You liar, didn't you say that no matter what, you would never leave me alone? Why didn't you do that? Cece. For a moment, Rick didn't know what to say. He suppressed the excitement and impulse in his heart. He called her name over and over again. Rick looks excited as well. Huamin looked up and mouthed to Qin Chu. Master Qin was too impulsive this time. How could he let the two of them meet without warning? He made Huamian nervous. What a scene. Rick, do you know how I've been through all these years? I miss you every night, but I won't say it. I hope to see you in my dreams every day, In my dreams, you're sometimes passionate and sometimes cold, but as long as you're here, it's fine. I thought we wouldn't really break up, I thought you wouldn't let me go. I thought you would come to me, but you didn't. Maybe Cece had sobered up or something, but her logic was clear. She spoke as tears rolled down her cheeks. Huamin's heart ached as he watched her. On the other side of the video call, Rick listened to Cece's every word and every sentence she said. Chapter 2076. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have gotten together with you even if I was beaten to death. At that time, my good friends all said that you were from the underworld. You were from a different world from me and told me not to get close to you, but I didn't listen. Because I thought that as long as we were in love, it didn't matter what your identity was. As long as you loved me and treated me well. I thought that we would be together forever. But, you left just like that, leaving me alone, to continue this long dream, Cece. I'm sorry. Rick said gently on the other side of the phone. Godfather, are we still going to continue the meeting? The person beside him asked carefully in perfect English. All of you, get out. Rick raised his head and glanced at his subordinates with a cold gaze. They were so scared that they didn't even dare to breathe. They quietly opened the door and left. Rick's important meeting was interrupted by Cece's sudden appearance. Don't say sorry to me, it's meaningless. Do you think you can just say sorry when you hurt someone? You're so selfish, Rick, you bastard. I hate you so much. Cece was a little emotional as she scolded Rick. Rick didn't react at all. If Cece could scold him happily, he would be happy too. I don't care. I want you to continue loving me. Cece drunkenly pointed at Rick and ordered. Huamin didn't dare to cry because he didn't want to affect their reunion. Rick, come back, okay? Come back to me. I'll listen to you from now on, I won't make you angry anymore. I'll be a very, very good girlfriend, I'll learn how to cook Western food for you, I'll make spaghetti, I'll fry steak. I'll wash your clothes, I'll clean your house, and I'll give birth to a cute mixed-blood baby for you. Our family will be happy together, just like Mian and President Qin, okay? Cece's voice became hoarse again. Qin Chu couldn't stand such an emotional scene, so he turned his head away and didn't dare to look. Rick's heart began to hurt slightly. Every word that Cece said was like 1,000 cuts to him, making him wish he was dead. Of course, he wanted to come back. He wanted to go back to the carefree days of the past. But what about the family feud? What about his brother? There was a huge pile of things waiting for him to deal with. Could he let it go? Rick. I miss you so much. Cece couldn't take it anymore. He fell to the ground with a thud. Fortunately, Huamin reacted quickly and supported her in time, not letting her fall to the ground. Cece. Cece. Rick was scared out of his wits. He stood up and kept shaking his phone as he shouted. Chin-Chu took the phone and said, "Don't worry. She's just drunk and asleep." "Why is she at your house?" Rick asked Chin-Chu in low spirits. "Something happened at Cece's house. She went out for dinner and got drunk. Huamin went to pick her up, but he didn't know where she lived, so he brought her back. After she came back, she kept asking to see you, so I started a video call." Chin-Chu briefly explained what happened to Rick. After Rick understood, he nodded and said, "Thank you, Chin." Rick, actually, you too. Chin-Chu never liked to care about anything other than himself and Huamin. But at this moment, he sympathized with Rick. He clearly loved Cece, but he was trying his best to hold it in. So he wanted to say something to him. However, before he could say anything, he was interrupted by Rick. "Chin, I know what to do. Thank you and Huamin. That's all." After that, Rick decisively ended the video call. Sigh, it seems like things have gotten worse. I should have just stopped the video call. Huamin covered Cece with a blanket. She walked over and rested her chin on Chin-Chu's shoulder. She sighed. "Do you think that even if we stopped the video call, they would let go of each other?" Chin-Chu asked. Chapter 2077. Faced with Mr. Chin's question, Huamin remained silent. He knew that the relationship between Rick and Cece wasn't as simple as he thought. The two of them could only sigh. When Huamian was in New Orleans, she and Rick had said everything she needed to say. He couldn't do anything to help, and it would seem like he was meddling in other people's business. "Let's go to bed, honey." "Okay, don't worry. She's just drunk. She'll be fine tomorrow." Chin-Chu didn't want Huamin to worry about Cece, so he kept comforting him. The next morning, when Cece woke up, she was terrified to find herself in an unfamiliar environment. She put on her slippers and opened the door with her hair disheveled. She bumped into Little Bean, who had just woken up. "Oh my God, who are you?" Little Bean looked at the unfamiliar woman in front of her adorably. Are you the older or younger sister of the twins?" "I'm Little Bean." "Hello, Little Bean. Is this your home?" Little Bean nodded. "So this is South Hill Manor?" Cece continued to ask. Little Bean didn't know what to do and kept nodding. Phew. Finally, Cece let out a long sigh. "Auntie, where did you come from? Why are you at my home?" Little Bean was also confused. "Cece, you're awake." At this time, Huamin walked out and wanted to see if Cece was awake. He saw Cece and Little Bean in the second-floor hallway. "Sister Mian, yesterday, did you bring me home?" "Yeah, you were drunk and they didn't know where you lived." "I didn't know either. I was worried that it wouldn't be safe for you to stay in a hotel alone, so I brought you home." "Did you sleep well? Does your head still hurt?" "It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, Sister Mian." Cece was very embarrassed. "It's okay. Go wash your face and rinse your mouth. We'll go downstairs to eat later." "Okay." After Cece went back to her room, she immediately washed up. When she went downstairs, she saw that Huamin's house was really crowded. Huamin's mother, his little brother, Huamin's family of 4, and Qin Ning. Not to mention that there were more than 10 servants. Cece was really not used to it. "Cece, come here." Huamin waved his hand. She slowly walked over and greeted everyone with a smile. Sister Mian. I didn't do anything inappropriate last night, did I? Cece stuck out her tongue and asked Huamin quietly. What do you think? Huamin purposely didn't say anything, making her anxious. Aw. Did I do something ridiculous? This is so embarrassing. Cece covered her face, feeling extremely embarrassed. Cece, what happened last night? Don't you remember anything? Huamin asked tentatively. I remember that I was having dinner with the people from Imperial Star in a private room and had a drink with President Su. Then. I think you were holding me and I felt dizzy. Then. I can't remember. Cece vaguely recalled the events. Okay. Huamin and Qin Chu looked at each other helplessly. What? Did I forget something important? Cece took out her phone and looked at her WeChat and call history. She didn't find anything suspicious. No. You were drunk and fell asleep. Huamin decided not to tell her about the video call with Rick. He didn't want her to be reminded of the past. You're Auntie Cece. Pudding looked at Cece carefully and asked in her baby voice. Hi, Pudding. You're Pudding, right? Ha, you look so much like Little Bean. Cece smiled and greeted Pudding. Auntie Cece, I heard that you and Uncle Rick were in a relationship. Is that true? Pudding asked directly. Huamin felt like his brain was going to explode. What he feared most really happened. This little brat. Chapter 2078. Baby, who did you hear that from? Cece suddenly felt awkward. Isn't it something that everyone knows? Pudding answered cleverly. Ahem. Pudding, hurry up and eat. Don't you have piano lessons today? I'll ask your daddy to drive you guys to class. Mommy has to go to the hospital too, don't waste time. Huamin immediately changed the topic and didn't want his baby daughter to talk about Rick and Cece's love history anymore. It was already tormenting enough. Okay, Mommy. Maybe you don't want Auntie Cece to remember the past and that's why you don't want me to talk about it. I understand. But Auntie Cece, it's okay to fall out of love. You have to move on, Cece, Huamin, Mr. Qin. Can't you control your daughter? Huamin protested. Mommy. So every time you feel helpless, you have to ask your husband for help. Pudding looked at Huamin sympathetically. You make it sound like we don't have a husband, Little Bean interrupted. The truth is, we don't have one yet. But when we grow up, we will. Pudding calmly analyzed. Huamin was completely speechless. Jixin couldn't eat anymore and burst out laughing. Ha 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 ha. Mom, I told you my nieces are amazing. Did you see that? They're already so confident that they can talk back to their mommy. This is the first time I've seen my sister lose so gloriously. Jing Jixin, can you stop laughing like a demon? Is this the time to be happy? Huamin was speechless. Pudding, Little Bean, don't bully Mommy, Mr. Qin, who was drinking his oatmeal, finally spoke up. Then, the two little guys gave him face and said in unison, Okay, Daddy. You too. Are you betraying me? Ever since Mr. Qin came back, you've been ignoring me as your mother. What do you want? Huamin looked at the twins, both angry and amused. The lively breakfast finally came to an end. Qin Chu drove the twins to their piano lesson while Huamin drove Cece to the city before heading to work at South Side. Along the way, Cece was very embarrassed. Sister Mian, sorry for troubling you last night. What are you talking about? What trouble? We're friends. I definitely wouldn't leave you in the lurch. Plus, you helped to be a substitute because of me. You also helped Suyuk solve a problem. I should be the one thanking you. Don't say that, Sister Mian. President Su is a really good person. He's been paying attention to my sister's situation, and he pays her medical fees on time. He also visits my sister every day, which makes my family feel much better. President Su also protects me on set, and that director doesn't dare to bully me. Cici was especially grateful to Suyu for taking care of her this time. She also told Huamin about the situation. Huamin smiled. Lord Su has always been a man with a sharp tongue but a soft heart. He looks like a bad-tempered person, but he's actually very childish. He's not scary at all. Yeah, I always heard from my sister that President Su. Apparently, all the artists in Imperial Star are afraid of him because he's very temperamental. When he loses his temper, it's really scary. I didn't expect him to be so easygoing. He's not scary at all. You finished your part as a substitute, you don't have to go anymore, right? Huamin asked. It's okay. I'll go home and change before going to the hospital to take care of my sister. Is your sister okay? Is it serious? Huamin asked with concern. Chapter 2079. It's not serious, just a slight bruise on my lower back. Luckily, I didn't hurt my nerves. My parents were scared to death. That's good. Huamin nodded. Sister Mian, stop the car at the intersection up ahead. I'll get out. It's close to my house, I'll drive you to your house. No. You're in a hurry to get to work. Really, it's broad daylight and I'm sober now. I'm fine, okay then, be careful. Huamin carefully parked the car on the side of the road. Cici unbuckled her seatbelt and was about to get out when she suddenly thought of something. She turned around and looked at Huamin with a troubled expression. What's wrong? Cici. Sister Mian. Last night. Did anything weird happen? No, why do you ask? Huamin's expression didn't change as he looked at Cici calmly. Oh. Nothing, I think I dreamed of Rick. Cici said dejectedly. Really? Then you're probably thinking too much and had a dream, right? Probably, haha. Okay, I'll get out now. Be careful and be careful on the road. Okay, bye, I'll talk to you later. Huamin continued driving to South Side while Cici sobered up and went home. Huamin really did his best between Cici and Rick. He did everything he could, and the rest was up to them. Plus, Rick's identity was too sensitive right now. He had Luna, the daughter of a mafia family, by his side. He wondered if he would have any interactions with Cici in the future. It was hard to say. So, to not add to Cici's worries, Huamin didn't tell her about the video last night. She believed that Rick wouldn't want her to tell Cici either. After all, it wouldn't help. On the other side, Mr. Qin took the twins to piano lessons. Yang, I'll postpone the morning meeting for 2 hours. I have to take my daughters to piano lessons first, so I'll be late at work. Qin Chu called Yang. When Qin Chu came back, Bella and Yang's positions were switched. Since Bella was a woman and Huamin's personal assistant, Qin Chu found it inconvenient. He directly transferred Bella back to the administrative department and transferred little Yang back for his own use. Little Yang was very happy with this arrangement. Only God knew how much he missed the days when he could fight alongside the big boss. Got it, boss. After hanging up the phone, Qin Chu parked his car in front of the music classroom. Daddy, are you coming to pick us up later? Daddy won't leave. I'll wait for you here. Qin Chu smiled. Wow, that's great. Daddy, you're amazing. I want to give you a 5-star rating. Pudding was rarely so happy. She thought that since Daddy was so busy, he would definitely leave after sending the two of them here. Daddy, if you give me half an hour, I can definitely finish it. It won't take you too long, Pudding boasted. There's no rush. You two can take your time to learn. Pudding opened the car door, got out, and was escorted in by the bodyguards. However, Pudding didn't get out of the car. Little sister, why aren't you leaving? What are you waiting for? Pudding turned around and looked at Pudding. You go first. I have something to talk to Daddy alone. Pudding pouted cutely. Okay, then hurry up. Pudding walked into the music classroom first. Chin-Chu looked at his little daughter and pinched her little face lovingly. Little Bean, what do you want to talk to Daddy about? Today, we have something serious to talk about, Pudding said seriously. How serious? Chin-Chu couldn't help but want to laugh. Very serious, super serious. Daddy, don't be so cheeky. I'm talking about something important. Pudding was immediately displeased by her daddy's casual smile. Okay, baby. Go ahead. Chin-Chu stopped smiling, picked up Pudding, and placed her on his lap. Then, he hugged her with fatherly love. Go ahead, baby. Daddy's listening. Chapter 2080. Daddy, do you love Mommy a lot? Do you even need to ask? Of course I do. Mr. Chin said proudly. When it came to loving Huamin, he believed that no one else in the world would love Huamin as deeply as he did. Are you worried that Mommy will be taken away by someone else? I'm not worried about that. I know that your Mommy is stubborn. Once she's set on me, she won't change her mind. Huamian had been pregnant and had given birth to this child for 4 long years. But how do you know that Mommy won't be touched? What if she meets a strong opponent? Little Bean asked. Little Bean, do you know something? Is your Mommy having an affair? Chin-Chu teased his daughter. Pfft. How is that possible? What are you thinking? I mean, what if? This is just my hypothesis, okay? Baby, let's not hypothesize. If you want to say something, just say it to Daddy. Your little brain is always turning. Daddy can't guess what you're thinking. Chin-Chu immediately surrendered. He realized that Little Bean and Pudding's logical thinking was different from normal people's. They would never let him guess what they were thinking. Okay. Then I'll be direct. I just think that Mommy is an excellent woman. So, a lot of people like her. Other than you, Daddy, Handsome Sue, and the big bad guy, Huasichen, also like her. So? Chin-Chu asked with a smile. So Daddy, you have to be alert at all times. Look after Mommy and don't let anyone take her away. Little Bean warned. She won't. No one can take your Mommy away. Chin-Chu laughed happily. He felt that talking about this cute topic with his daughter made him look cute. Don't be so insensitive, okay? Let me tell you, last time when we were kidnapped, you didn't even know what Huasichen did. What did he do? Chin-Chu froze. He didn't ask in detail. Because it was too urgent that day, he only thought about how to pacify them after saving them and didn't ask about the details. However, Chin-Chu knew that Huasichen was almost beaten to death by Huamin because he wanted to protect Huamin. That was why Huamin couldn't bear to see him make a move on Huasichen. They had already discussed this matter. That big bad guy was beaten half to death by the kidnappers to protect Mommy. Mommy was so scared that she kept crying and thought that he was going to die. Sure enough, Little Bean was talking about that incident. Daddy knows about this. I've also talked about it with your mommy. Don't worry. No, there's one more thing that mommy didn't tell you, Little Bean said with certainty. What is it? This piqued Chin-Chu's curiosity. That big baddie actually already had a plan for mommy. He even sketched out a beautiful blueprint. That day, he told mommy that he always had a dream in his heart. He wanted to take mommy to a small island and live there with her. He even wanted to have a baby or something. Anyway, he didn't seem to be joking. Daddy, you have to take it seriously. You can't let that big baddie have a chance to take mommy away, okay? My sister and I can't lose mommy, Little Bean ordered seriously. Your daddy can't lose your mommy either. Chin-Chu smiled gently. Hua-min wouldn't tell Chin-Chu these things because he didn't want Chin-Chu to think too much. Little Bean's meaning was obvious. She wanted him to take this seriously and work harder to protect Hua-min from harm. Little Bean, thank you for telling Daddy all of this. Daddy will be extra careful in the future and protect your mommy, and you and your sister. Our family will always be together. Chin-Chu lowered his head and kissed his daughter's forehead, giving her the sincerest promise. Hua Corporation Headquarters, President Hua, look at the news. Miss Mo. One of Hua Xiqian's subordinates rushed into the office and reported to him. Chapter 2081. After Hua Xiqian heard what she said, he picked up the remote control and turned on the TV in his office. The local TV station was broadcasting an interview program, and Mo Shui, who had been banned from the entertainment industry for a long time, was on the program. Miss Mo, were you and President Hua ever together? It's been a mystery all these years, the host asked with a smile. Mo Shui smiled. True and false, false and true. Miss Mo, you sure know how to beat around the bush, The truth is, President Hua and I have known each other for many years, and we've been together for many years. Even when he married his late wife, he never broke up with me. Mo Shui's words shocked everyone. After hearing what she said, the entire audience gasped. Wow, looks like there's big news. So you're saying that President Hua has always been with you and never broke up? Even when he got married, he didn't end his relationship with you. That used to be the case, but now that we've broken up. He must have felt helpless. Maybe he got tired of me, I understand. But we're still friends now. I was in a bad mood back then, and I didn't have any jobs or movies to film. So I kept thinking too much and made too many friends. Now I know I was wrong. Mo Shui took the opportunity to clear her name. Then it's a shame that you two didn't end up together. You're a perfect match. President Hua looks like he's easy to get along with. He's always smiling, and I heard that he's nice to the media and his subordinates. Yeah, Xiqian is actually quite easy to get along with, but he has a few special fetishes. Then Mo Shui hesitated. Special fetishes? Can you tell me a little about them, Miss Mo? What kind of fetishes? The female lead didn't let go of this sensitive topic and continued to ask. Mo Shui smiled reservedly and said, well, he's really horny when it comes to that. He's always thinking about that. I'm not that strong and I'm so skinny, so sometimes I can't handle it. So most of the time, I use my hands, or my mouth. Mo Shui's bold answer sent the entire audience into a frenzy. The female host almost peed her pants. The female lead kept looking at the director, as if asking if this scene could still be broadcasted. After all, this was a live broadcast. So many people were watching. However, the director didn't seem to have any intention of stopping. It was obvious that he wanted Mo Shui to continue. In order to get high viewership ratings and eyeballs, the female host forced herself to continue the interview. Then, other than this, do you have any other hobbies? Yeah, he likes to do it in the bathtub because it's very comfortable to soak in the water. Mo Schwaber was getting bolder and bolder. She didn't even have a filter on her mouth. Is there anything else? Even the host was blushing. Sometimes, we'll do some SM stuff. He'll blindfold me, tie my hands, and stuff like that. Sometimes, we'll even roleplay. He'll make me pretend to be a student and wear a short skirt. He'll be the teacher, and then we'll have big butts. Mo Schwaber said with a straight face. The audience was dumbfounded. Was this really an interview with a superstar? Why did it feel like an interview with Ma Yuyu? At this moment, Hua Xiqian's expression couldn't even be described as ugly. He knew that Mo Schwaber was doing this to get back at him. Boss, should we find someone to talk to Miss Mo? One of his subordinates asked nervously. Chapter 2082. There's no need for that. Let her talk. Bitch, since she doesn't want to live anymore, I'll send her on her way. Let her continue to do whatever she wants. Hua Xiqian suppressed his anger. He wanted to see what else Mo Schwaber could do. He had been cautious all his life. How could he be tricked by a bitch? Mian, look at this video. I'm laughing my ass off. Zhu Lingling sent the video of Mo Schwaber's interview to Huamin. Huamin had just finished writing a prescription for a patient. After watching the video on his phone, he felt terrible. Zhu Lingling, how is it? Are you done? Huamin, yeah, I'm done. Zhu Lingling, how do you feel? Huamin, Mo Schwaber was bewitched. Zhu Lingling, ha 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 ha. Are you scared too? Huamin, yeah, I'm surprised. Huamian knew a little about Mo Schwaber, even though she always did things without leaving any room for negotiation. However, doing such a thing that harms others without benefiting herself was really not her style. If she had not said it herself, she would not have done it. If she hadn't said it herself, Huamin would have thought that someone was trying to smear her reputation. Zhu Lingling, hey, do you think Hua Xiqian is really that perverted? He even had so many perverted fetishes when he was doing it. Oh my god, this is too scary. Huamin, how would I know? Only the person involved would know such a private thing, right? Zhu Lingling, I think Hua Xiqian is going to explode from anger right now. Huamin, I don't know if he's going to explode or not, but I do know that Mo Schwaber is going to be in trouble. Zhu Lingling, that's for sure. If it were me, I wouldn't let her go either. Between the two of them, it's always the guy who likes to expose details. I can't believe a woman like her is so shameless. She's going to get married in the future. Who would dare marry her? Oh right, isn't she with Jiang Yi? Jiang Yi wouldn't dare to do her this time, right? She's not with Jiang Yi anymore. I heard she's with the old man from the Xiang family. Huamin gossips, for once. What? Old man. He's so old, is he okay? Mo Schwaber is a heroine. Zhu Lingling and Huamian gossiped for a while. After Huamian put down her phone, she still couldn't calm down. Mo Schwaber probably did this to get back at Hua Xiqian, but was it really worth it to seek revenge without caring about the consequences and her reputation? Could it be that Mo Schwaber had lost her mind this time? That day, Hua Xiqian and Mo Schwaber became the hottest topic on Weibo. Mo Schwaber had always been a celebrity on Weibo. Everything she posted would receive tens of thousands of comments. This time, it was even more so. As soon as her interview was released, she received hundreds of thousands of comments. Her popularity skyrocketed. Hua Xiqian rarely posted on Weibo. Occasionally, he would repost some chicken soup for the Seoul articles. This time, Weibo was in an uproar. The netizens were afraid that the drama would escalate, so they all left comments. I heard you're hardcore. You like SNM. President Hua, are you SNM? Same kind, please. President Hua, please whip me and take me as your slave. Qian, I heard you have great stamina. I want to give it a try, Mo Shui, that bitch. She took advantage of you and then betrayed you. I despise her. You're the best. Qian. I didn't know you were so good. I want you. President Hua, I didn't know you were such a pervert. You look like a gentleman on the surface, but you're actually a beast. We're both men, but I envy you the most. You have money, looks, and stamina. Have you had enough? Be careful of AIDS. What a perverted man. The whole corporation is on fire. I don't know if it's a publicity stunt, but I can't believe it. GK Headquarters, President Qin, the headlines are all about Hua Xiqian and Mo Shui. What do you think? Assistant Yang poured Qin Chu a cup of tea. A dog biting another dog, very exciting. President Qin commented proudly. I wonder how the Hua Corporation's PR team is going to handle this crisis. I'm looking forward to it. Assistant Yang gloated. Chapter 2083. He thought that the Hua Corporation would send out a PR statement to clarify the situation. However, Hua Xiqian didn't do anything. He quietly watched the rumors and the way the employees looked at him changed. At the entrance of the Hua Corporation, Yan Ruoshi was surrounded by reporters. Miss Yan, are you still dating President Hua? Of course. How do you feel about this incident? Do you feel hurt? Of course not. Why would we care about something that doesn't exist? It's ridiculous. It's not true. I don't know why Miss Mo would say that. Maybe it's because she hates him. After all, Qian isn't with her anymore. He's with me now. Miss Yan, are you a third party? A reporter asked sharply. Yan Ruoshi immediately glared at the reporter. How is that possible? When did you see me as a third party? No, in the interview, didn't Miss Mo say that she and President Hua were never separated? Even after President Hua got married, they continued to have an extramarital affair. So, I'm thinking that your appearance might be a bit of a disadvantage in terms of timing, right? The reporter was smart this time and spoke in a more reserved manner. Yan Ruoshi was furious. I told you not to believe that woman. She's a drug addict. Why would you believe her? She's talking nonsense. She said it on purpose to smear Qian and I met 3 years ago. At that time, his ex-wife had just passed away and he was in a bad mood. I stayed by his side for 3 years. We were true love. Qian doesn't have the addiction she's talking about. What she said is not true. Please don't spread false rumors. You'll hurt the man I love. Miss Yan, why didn't President Hua come out to clarify the situation? Is there something he can't say? What's so hard to say? Qian is a low-key person. Why would he need to clarify something that didn't happen? What a joke. You media outlets have no bottom line now. You can believe anyone's words. I'm drunk. Alright, move aside. This is the first time I'm responding to this matter, and it will also be the last time. Yan Ruoshi squeezed her way out of the crowd and drove away angrily. Originally, this matter had spread like wildfire and attracted a lot of attention from the media from all walks of life. That night, another incident once again pushed Hua Xiqian to the heart of the storm. Mo Shui was in a car accident. Although it wasn't serious, she was hit by someone on purpose. Mo Shui was sent to Southside Recuperation Center, which was very close to the accident site, for emergency treatment. Her manager immediately called the police and accused Hua Xiqian of deliberately getting someone to hit her. Because it involved a very serious case of contract killing, the police quickly filed a case. That night, Hua Xiqian was taken away from his home for interrogation. After the photos were exposed, it caused another uproar. Many people believed that Hua Xiqian was angry because of Mo Shui's information, so he purposely hired someone to kill her. Hua Xiqian couldn't clear his name even if he jumped into the Yellow River. That night, Mo Shui was interviewed by the media at the hospital. She looked haggard. "Miss Mo, everyone is saying that this car accident was intentional. What do you think?" The media swarmed around Mo Shui. Chapter 2084. I don't know. After all, I don't have any evidence. But, when the accident happened, it was really weird. After the car hit me, it stepped on the gas as if it wanted to kill me. I was so scared. It was so scary. Mo Shui pitifully recalled the situation. Do you think President Hua has anything to do with this? I don't think it's Qian. Even though we're no longer together, we used to be together. I don't think he would be so heartless as to do something like that to me. Even if I exposed him, I don't think he would mind. Mo Shui continued to pretend to be innocent and tried to defend Hua Xiqian. Her manager immediately said, "Shui, don't be so stupid. He has no feelings for you. Otherwise, he would have come to save you the last time you were in trouble. He would have blacklisted you and announced that he was breaking off all ties with you. Friends from the media, you don't know how heartless Hua Xiqian is." When Shui was at the peak of her career, she wanted to go overseas to pursue her career. However, because of one sentence from him, she stayed and even signed with the Hua Corporation. She worked so hard for him and earned so much money for him. Where was he when Shui was in trouble? He didn't even come to visit her. He even hit her when she was down. What kind of relationship does a man like him have? Ms. Liu, stop it. Mo Shui looked at her manager with red and swollen eyes. I want to say it. What you exposed on the show is true. What's done is done. What's done is done. What's there to be afraid of? How dare he get someone to hit you? Luckily, you were smart enough to turn the steering wheel in time. Otherwise, you would have been a corpse by now. My silly girl, Shui, you can't continue to defend that scumbag. Her manager's words were all recorded by the media. Mo Shui's eyes were red from crying. Her manager was furious. Then, there was the news that Hua Xiqian was taken away by the police. The series of events caused a huge earthquake. The Hua Corporation stock market began to fall as soon as the market opened. Negative news surrounded the company. Suddenly, people started to kick a man who was down. Some of the smaller companies that had conflicts with the Hua Corporation took the opportunity to speak up and support Mo Shui. Mo Shui, as a victim, received sympathy from the netizens. Hua Xiqian, on the other hand, had become a scumbag. No one had expected this outcome. That night, after the media left, Mo Shui immediately wiped her tears. She put away her aggrieved expression and smiled at her agent. Sister Liu, how was my performance just now? Very good, full marks. Hua Xiqian is done for this time, that's exactly what I wanted. Who asked him to be so heartless towards me? Humph, I'm not someone he can sleep with or kick away as he pleases. Mo Schwer clenched her fists tightly. Schwer, you've been busy all night. I'll go buy some food. What do you want to eat? The shrimp dumplings are ready, and there's also seafood porridge. Okay, then wait for me. Be careful. There are bodyguards at the door. Shout if you need anything. Okay. Oh right, what did Mr. Xiang say? Mo Schwer quickly asked. Mr. Xiang said that you shouldn't go overboard. Things have gotten out of hand, and Mayor Yan called him. It seems like he doesn't want things to get out of hand. It's not like you don't know that Mayor Yan's dumb daughter is Hua Xiqian's girlfriend. Mo Schwer's manager said sarcastically. Humph, so what if he's the mayor's daughter? I don't buy it. Mo Schwer rolled her eyes. After her agent left, she picked up a small mirror and touched up her makeup. She even hummed a song. When Huamin opened the door, she didn't notice him. She thought that her agent had returned. Chapter 2085. You're back so soon. She turned around and saw Huamin in his white lab coat. Huamin had just finished an emergency surgery with the orthopedics department, so he had been working overtime until now. When he heard that Mo Schwer was hospitalized here and found out what happened, he decided to visit her. You don't look like a victim. You look more like a winner. Huamin put his hands in his lab coat pockets and looked at Mo Schwer quietly. Why are you here? Mo Schwer was surprised to see Huamin. I work here. It's not like you don't know. What are you doing here? Don't tell me you're here to visit me. I don't need your fake kindness. Mo Schwer put down her little mirror and glared at Huamin. Miss Mo, you're overthinking things. I don't think I know you well enough to visit you. I'm here because I have something to tell you. Are you going to plead for Hua Xiqian? Mo Schwer asked proudly. Huamin sighed slightly and said, let me correct you. You know Hua Xiqian better than I do. He doesn't need anyone to plead for him. You better worry about yourself. If God wants you to die, he'll let you go crazy first. What I'm seeing right now is your crazyish side, so, you think I'm done for, right? Mo Schwer sneered. No, I don't think that way. I just don't know how long you can be so arrogant. I'm curious, why did you give up your life and piss him off? Is this what they mean by having nothing better to do? Huamin asked curiously. I'm here for revenge, I don't understand what you're trying to do. Did Hua Xiqian kill your dad or dig up your ancestors' graves? He betrayed my love for him. Mo Schwer's words were a little hysterical. Love for him? You? Ha! Stop fooling around, Miss Mo. Your words sound very humorous. Huamin finally realized that Mo Schwer was a woman with a twisted mind. What do you mean? Are you questioning me? Mo Schwer couldn't stand Huamin's attitude. Mo Schwer, let me explain it for you. You used to be a poor kid. Even though you were pretty, you couldn't achieve anything. You didn't come from a good family, so you didn't even go to a good school. You even lived with a hoodlum. Later on, you accompanied a friend to an audition and caught Hua Xiqian's eye. He did everything he could to make you what you are today. He didn't have that much power back then, so you were just a newbie. You weren't that popular, but as you stayed by his side for years, you became more and more popular. The Hua Xiqian funded your most famous movies, and there are a lot of people who are prettier and better at acting than you. Why did you become popular in your 20s? It's all because Hua Xiqian supported you. Everyone knew that you were with him, so no one dared to bully you or sleep with you. Everyone gave in to you, supported you, and helped you get to where you are today. Now that you guys broke up, you became angry out of humiliation. You kept saying that he let you down. There's a saying going around in WeChat moments right now. I give you a gift, 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 I give you a gift. Everyone knows that you're with him, so no one dares to bully you or sleep with you. Everyone gives in to you and supports you, so you've had a smooth journey all the way to where you are now. Now that you guys broke up, you flew into a rage out of humiliation. You keep saying that Hwasichin let you down. There's a saying going around in WeChat moments right now. If I give you a piece of candy, you'll be happy and grateful. If I give you candy every day, you'll get used to it. You'll think that it's only right that I give it to you. If I don't give it to you one day, you'll think that it's my fault and that I've wronged you. But you've forgotten that you didn't have anything in the beginning. I was the one who gave it to you first. So, you're a classic example of a person who hates you. Hwasichin has done so much for you that you're treating him like an enemy. You really want to kill him. You're actually quite ruthless. You can even hire someone to kill yourself and frame Hwasichin. Everyone thinks that you're innocent and wronged. But no one knows that Hwasichin is the one who'll never be able to clear his name. You're such a bitch, Mo Shwe. Hwamin rarely spoke so harshly to a woman, but Mo Shwe's actions today really angered him. After hearing what Hwamin said, Mo Shwe sneered, so, you're trying to clear Hwasichin's name now. Chapter 2086. Clear my name. Why would I do that? What's in it for me? Hwamin was confused. Hwamin, do you think it's something to be proud of to be loved by Hwasichin? Mo Shwe looked at her with jealousy. No, it's the opposite. I think it's a scary thing. My life is a mess because he loves me. My husband almost died because of me. So, in a way, I hate Hwasichin a lot. But I won't do what you did. I won't use such despicable methods. I'll find evidence and one day, I'll send him to prison. I'll make him pay for all the crimes he deserves. Hwamin, you're so naive. Do you really think you'll find evidence? Don't worry, justice grinds slowly but surely. No matter how powerful Hwasichin is, there's always a loophole. I'll find it. But right now, you should be more worried about yourself. Your little tricks won't affect him. Instead, you'll piss him off. You'll die soon. Do you really think I'll let him go this time? Mo Shwe was furious. She seemed to have made up her mind to compete with Hwasichin. Don't underestimate his power, Hwamin reminded her kindly. I've been by his side for so many years, do you think I don't know how powerful he is? Mo Shwe laughed mockingly. Is that so? Then why don't you tell me what he went through in Germany for 6 years? Hwamin's words made Mo Shwe speechless. She really didn't know what Hwasichin went through in Germany because she didn't know him back then. So, Hwamin, are you trying to show off to me that you've known each other for a long time? No, I'm just reminding you not to overestimate yourself or underestimate your enemies. It won't do you any good. You should get better, Hwamin couldn't be bothered to talk to Mo Shwe anymore. She realized that Mo Shwe's heart was filled with dark thoughts. Since she had decided to take revenge on Hwasichin, then so be it. But Hwamin promised her that she would not succeed. After Hwamin left Mo Shwe's room, he changed his clothes and prepared to go home. As soon as she went out with the car key, she saw Chin Chu's car parked at the door. She felt warm in her heart. Hey! Handsome guy, can I get in your car? Sure, but don't let my wife find out. Mr. Chin was serious even when he was joking. Huamin opened the car door, got into the passenger seat, and kissed Mr. Chin on the cheek. Why didn't you tell me you were coming to pick me up? You didn't even send me a WeChat message, humph. So, were you surprised? Chin Chu looked at her gently. It's okay. Isn't it natural for a husband to pick up his wife after work? How can you describe it as a surprise? Humph. Huamin said proudly. So, what if there's a midnight snack? Wouldn't that be a surprise? After Chin Chu spoke, he took out an exquisite lunch box from the side. Inside the box were Huamin's favorite crab roe buns and milk tea. Wow! Mr. Chin, you're so mature now. Tell me, did you get some advice from a master? This time, Huamin was indeed surprised. She had been working overtime and was starving. Originally, she wanted to go home and cook a bowl of noodles, but to her surprise, Mr. Chin bought her favorite midnight snack. She was overjoyed. I did get some advice from a master. Chin Chu chuckled. Who is it? Tell me the truth. Huamin grabbed Chin Chu's neck and interrogated him. Chapter 2087. Do you really want to tell me? I promised her that I wouldn't betray her. Mr. Chin mumbled. Her. Oh, then I want to know even more. Hurry up and tell me, Huamin continued to whine. Okay, then I'll tell you. This master is Chin Mumu, Mr. Chin announced. Little Bean. Huamin was dumbfounded. Chin Chu nodded. Honey, are you kidding me? Huamin didn't believe him. Chin Chu told him about Little Bean's private conversation as he drove. Huamin immediately felt awkward. Little Bean, how could she betray me? She even told you something so private. Of course she did. There are no secrets between us. If you hide anything from me again, I'll teach you a lesson. Chin Chu lovingly pinched Huamin's face. Huamin immediately smiled. Mr. Chin, please don't be mad. I won't do it again. Mo Shui was hospitalized at your hospital, right? Chin Chu asked. Huamin took a bite of a crab roe bun. Yeah, she was here. I just saw her. What happened? Nothing much. She wrote and directed this drama to frame Hua Xichen. I have to say, this woman is ruthless. How about Hua Xichen? Did he come out? Will he be in trouble? Huamin asked nonchalantly. No trouble. Gao Ran said that he doesn't have enough evidence. But the impact is really bad. The Hua Corporation lost a lot of money in the stock market today. Okay, let's not get involved in other people's business. Let's eat first. Huamin happily ate his midnight snack. After he was full, he leaned his head on Chin Chu's shoulder. It was a tiring day, but it was fulfilling, especially when she was with Mr. Chin. She felt like she was the happiest person in the world. The next morning, because it was the weekend, Huamin rarely had a day off, and Chin Chu rarely had to work overtime in the company. The twins wanted to eat barbecue, so Chin Chu and Jixin went to the market early to buy a lot of ingredients. In the glass house in front of the small garden, the family began to busy themselves with the barbecue. When Bella arrived, Jixin was stunned. Why is Bella here? I called to invite him. Is there a problem? Huamin smiled. No problem, sis, you really are my sister. Jixin was ecstatic. Bella took 2 stuffed animals and gave them to Pudding and Little Bean. Thank you, Auntie Bella. The 2 children loved her very much. President Hua, you need to wash the vegetables. Let me help you. Bella came over to help Huamin after she finished washing her hands. Bella thought it was going to be a big party, but when she arrived, she realized that she was the only outsider other than the Qin family. She felt very awkward. Jixin and Qin Chu lit a fire on the other side and prepared to barbecue. Yang Meirong ran around the house with the twins. With Huamin and Bella here, it was much easier for them to talk. Hey, don't call me President Hua. I'm not working for the company anymore. Huamin corrected Bella. Then what should I call you? Dr. Hua. Director Hua. Bella stuck out her tongue playfully. No, you should just call me Mian. Huamin chuckled. I don't dare. I've been with you for so long that I'm scared. You're so majestic, how could I dare to call you Mian? Ah, it would feel weird. Then you can call me whatever you want. Huamin said helplessly. Okay, President Hua. Huamin was speechless. Bella, are you still in contact with your boyfriend? Huamian asked, trying to get to the bottom of it. Chapter 2088. Which one? Bella froze. How many do you have? Of course, it's the one from before, that scumbag. I stopped contacting him a long time ago. He really did come looking for me. Guess what he wanted? Hooking up. Huamin guessed. No, he wanted to borrow money from me. Bella giggled. Borrow money? Did you lend it to him? Huamin frowned slightly. How could I? I'm not an idiot. Why would I lend him money? He told me that he was really pitiful. He said that something happened to his family and he needed to pay for the surgery. He asked me to lend him 30,000 yuan. I really believed him at the time. In the end, I called his sister. The little girl said that nothing had happened and that her family was fine. His lie was exposed by me. He was so ashamed that he lied to me and said that he lost the bet and even made up for it. He used the company's public funds and so on. What happened after that? After that, of course, I blacklisted him. What else could I have done? Saved him for Chinese New Year. Bella replied domineeringly. Huamin gave her a thumbs up. Good job, I like domineering women like you. President Hua, don't tease me. I don't dare to talk about domineering in front of you. I'm just an idiot at most. Bella really admired Huamin and had always treated him as her idol. In the company, being Huamin's assistant was also a job well done. Bella, you're not young anymore. You still have to think about your marriage. Yeah, my family introduced me to a few girls, but they didn't hit on me. Either I don't think they're good enough, or they think I'm too old and too domineering. So they just left it like that. My parents are quite worried. After all, I'm already this old. But it's not something to be anxious about, I'll just leave it to fate. Actually, it's good to be alone. If you meet someone suitable, you still have to find one. Huamin advised. Yeah, I know. Thank you, President Hua, for your concern. Bella smiled. Sis, that's enough. Hurry up and give us the stuff. Jixin waved his hand. Huamin and Bella brought the skewered food over. Qin Chu, who was wearing a white shirt, started to grill meat. Perhaps it was because of the charcoal fire, her face was a little red, and there were small beads of sweat on her forehead. Huamin immediately took out a wet towel and helped her husband wipe his sweat. Mr. Qin, thanks for your hard work. Huamin teased as he wiped Qin Chu's face. Thank you, Dr. Hua. Qin Chu smiled. I was caught off guard by this display of affection. I might as well die, Jixin complained. Shoo shoo shoo, go play somewhere else. Oh right, go and get something to drink with Bella. Huamin found an excuse to send them away. After Jixin and Bella left, Huamin asked her husband mysteriously, Mr. Qin, do you think Bella and Jixin are a good match? How would I know? I'm not the Moon Lord. Mr. Qin's answer was hilarious. Huamin, what I mean is, you know their personalities better. Do you think they have a chance? It's okay. Bella is more mature and reliable. Jixin is a little young and still needs to be polished. The most important thing is if Bella is willing to be in a relationship with a younger man. If she's okay with it, then it's okay, Mr. Qin analyzed rationally. Yeah, I think so too. If they really do get together, then they'll be a good couple. I'm not worried about leaving Jixin with Bella. Huamin nodded. Not far away, the twins began to gossip. Sis, don't you think it's strange that Auntie Bella would come to an event like this? It's strange that someone from the company would come to a family gathering. Is there something fishy going on? Little Bean asked. Chapter 2089. Do you even need to think about it? Even my butt knows that Uncle Jixin wants to hit on her. Pudding looked at Little Bean with disdain. Little Bean, okay. Forgive me for being too naive, I didn't think things would turn out like this. Also, does Uncle like mature women? That's right. Anyway, after his ex-girlfriend died, he hasn't been in a relationship for the past few years. Mommy said that he was hurt and didn't dare to date anymore. I didn't expect him to change his taste, so, should we help him? It's tiring to see him flirt so awkwardly, Little Bean suggested. Forget it, after what happened with Auntie, I don't want to care anymore. Pudding was uninterested. Okay, if you don't want to help, then I won't either. Let Uncle do it himself. If he does, then he's capable. If he doesn't, then he's useless. Little Bean took a bite of the big apple in her hand and sighed. If Jixin heard his two nieces talk about him like this, he would probably be speechless. During lunch, everyone had a good time eating. President Hua, where's President Qin? Bella asked curiously. The President Qin she was talking about was Qin Ning. Ning, she went out to play. She's been back for so long, but if she's not busy with the company, she's taking care of our kids. It's been hard on her, so she drove out today. Oh, Qin Ning woke up early in the morning and drove out in her sports car. She raced all the way to the top of the mountain and had a great time. At noon, she found a random Hong Kong restaurant and was about to have lunch. Just then, Tang Chuan walked in, alone. Wow, beautiful. What a coincidence. Tang Chuan immediately came up and sat next to Qin Ning. Coincidence? Or did you come to me on purpose? How is that possible? Sea City is so big and there are so many Hong Kong restaurants. I just walked in. How can you think of me like that? Okay, pretend I didn't say anything, miss, what would you like to eat? The waiter walked over. 2 pineapple buns with butter, sweet and sour pork ribs, and vegetable noodles. Wow, you're eating that much. It's none of your business. Qin Ning glared at Tang Chuan. Sir, what would you like to order? The waiter looked at Tang Chuan. Same as my girlfriend. Thank you. Who's your girlfriend? Qin Ning glared at him. Don't get too excited, what I meant was, a female friend, or girlfriend for short. Haha, I'm not a girlfriend either. You and I aren't close, right? No matter how bad we are, we can still be considered Weibo friends, right? We added each other on WeChat. Can you not be so heartless? Tang Chuan asked shamelessly. I can't be bothered with you. Qi Ning lowered her head and played a game on her phone. Qi Ning. I heard you're very capable. You're already a senior executive at GK at such a young age. What does it have to do with you? Gosh, your expression is exactly the same as your brother's, and pudding's the same as well. What powerful genes. Qi Ning's momentary cuteness made Tang Chuan feel like he had seen pudding. However, because it was Qi Ning who acted like that, it was especially cute. My two nieces have a really bad impression of you. Qi Ning touched on his sore spot. That's because I'm too handsome, to the point that everyone hates me. That's why they pay so much attention to me. Narcissism is a disease, how do you treat it? Qi Ning lightly glanced at Tang Chuan's face. You not liking me is also a disease, you have to treat it, you have to treat it. Tang Chuan said flirtatiously. Chapter 2090. You. How can there be someone like you? You're so shameless. Who would like you? Qi Ning had never seen a man as shameless as Tang Chuan. In the end, he decided to just ignore her. When all the dishes were served, Qi Ning was exhausted from climbing the mountain in the morning. So, she really didn't care and started eating like a tough woman. If one had to describe it, it would be like a whirlwind sweeping away the clouds. However, Tang Chuan was still watching with great interest. He even took out his phone to secretly take videos. Then, he secretly posted on his WeChat friend circle, I caught a cute girl alive, wahahaha. Su Yu, she looks familiar. Hua Min, I think it's my Ning Ning. Wei Liao, Mr. Tang, you're so good at flirting with girls. I admire you. In an instant, there were dozens of comments, but Tang Chuan didn't reply to a single one because he was busy flirting with Qi Ning. Maybe he was used to seeing pretentious bitches purposely acting coy while eating. So, Tang Chuan felt that it was very interesting to see Qi Ning eat like this. It was real and not pretentious. What are you looking at? Is there something on my face? Qi Ning helplessly rolled her eyes at Tang Chuan. Yes, there are peach blossoms. I'll wait here for you to come back. I'll wait for you to come back and see the peach blossoms bloom. As he spoke, he even started singing. It was obvious that Tang Chuan was in a good mood. You're crazy. Qi Ning cursed out of nowhere. I'm crazy. What about it? Do you have medicine? Do you know how to cure diseases? Qi Ning, waiter, the bill. Qi Ning really felt that she couldn't eat happily, so she decided to pay the bill and leave. However, this gentleman has already paid. The waiter looked at Qi Ning with envy. Qi Ning looked at Tang Chuan. How much is it? I'll give it to you. No need, it's my treat. Do I need your treat? Don't I have money? Qi Ning asked bluntly. It's not about whether you have money or not. The problem is that you're a guest from afar, and I'm the host. It's normal for me to treat my friends to a meal. Don't take it to heart. Tang Chuan grinned. Who's your friend? Don't flatter yourself. It's okay. If you don't want to acknowledge me, I'll acknowledge you. Hee, I'm not that heartless. Tang Chuan was still shameless, leaving Qi Ning speechless. Forget it. I'm too lazy to argue with you. I'm leaving. Qi Ning stood up. Where are you going? I'll give you a ride. It's okay, I'll drive myself. Qi Ning refused without hesitation. Hey, little girl, are you really not willing to give me a chance? Do you really like Lord Su? Hearing Su Yu's name, Qi Ning stopped in her tracks. Su Yu at least relies on himself to earn and spend his own money. What about you? Was he going to rely on the family funds? Do you have the nerve to squander money like this? Was it really glorious to be a rice worm for a lifetime? Chapter 2091. That woman was right, all he did every day was burn money. Wei Liao had taken over the family business a long time ago and was busy all day. Lord Su started his own business after he retired from the military and was now a top entertainment tycoon in China. Qin Chu was even more impressive. He was the president of GK and the deals he negotiated were in the billions. He was the leader of the younger generation. But what about him? All he did was spend money. The money belonged to the family now and he could spend it however he wanted. What if the family declined? What if his parents were gone? Who would continue to support his spending? At this thought, he sent Qin Ning a WeChat message. If I can start my own business and be self-sufficient, will you marry me? You're crazy. Qin Ning only replied with 3 words. Ha, you didn't reject me, so I'll take that as a yes. Let me tell you, young lady, if I don't rely on my family and start my own business, you have to keep your word. Not only do I have to support myself, but I also have to support you. After Tang Chuan said this, Qin Ning didn't reply at all. She thought he was joking. However, 3 minutes later, Tang Chuan updated his WeChat moments again. Starting today, I'm going to start my own business. I'm not going to drink, socialize, or have sex. I'm going to be a good kid. I'm going to earn money to support myself and my wife. You're crazy, Siyu commented. Did you drink too much, young Master Tang? Wei Liao left a comment. Young Master Tang, did your WeChat get hacked? That's not like you. Young Master Tang, did you fail to hit on a girl and get upset? Young Master Tang, there's a new place here, do you want to come out tonight? Young Master Tang, you're so cool, Chuan, you haven't talked to me in a while. My period just ended, it's safe. Do you want to come out? Young Master Tang, come to my place tonight. Young Master Tang, have you turned over a new leaf? Hua Min commented, which was rare. Yeah, when is Dr. Hua free? Tang Chuan replied to Hua Min. What? Hua Min replied vigilantly. I'll treat you to a big meal. Tang Chuan smiled mysteriously. Don't tell me you have something to ask of me. Hua Min didn't believe that this kid would suddenly be so kind. Of course not. I just think that Dr. Hua is smart and wise. I want to discuss the true meaning of life with you. Forget it. I can't discuss such a profound topic. Why don't you find someone else? Hua Min refused. Please don't, Dr. Hua. Don't reject my kindness. I really want to treat you to a meal. You can pick any place you want. I'll even treat you to a banquet. You have to do me the honor. Siyu commented, what's going on upstairs? Are you trying to woo Dr. Hua? Ahem. I don't have the guts to do that. The line for Dr. Hua stretches all the way to the Caribbean. How could it be my turn? Then why did you treat her to a meal out of nowhere? Is there something fishy going on? Humph. Siyu purposely said sarcastically. Lord Su, don't misunderstand. You can come with us when we eat. I will never eat with Dr. Hua alone. Emichim, at least you know how to behave. Siyu seemed satisfied with his answer. When Qin Ning returned home, the twins were already asleep. She went to the mall alone and bought a lot of things with her credit card. Hua Mian was very grateful that Hua Mian had thoughtfully bought gifts for Jixin and Yang Meirong. Ning, don't spend money like this. Don't buy things like this again, it's okay. Let her spend. She's rich. Chin Chu crossed his arms in front of his chest. Are you still my brother? Ever since you got married, you've been working with your wife to set us up. Qin Ning laughed. Hey, Ning Ning, you ate with Tang Chuan today. Hua Min suddenly thought of something and asked. Sis-in-law, where did you hear this from? Qin Ning suddenly felt guilty. Chapter 2092. I saw it on Tang Chuan's WeChat moments. He recorded a short video. Hua Min picked up his phone and was about to look through the video. Qin Ning immediately felt awkward and explained, Bro, sis-in-law, don't misunderstand. It's like this. I was hiking this morning, so I was tired. I was tired of climbing, so I wanted to find a place to eat, so I randomly found a Hong Kong restaurant. Really, believe me, I just randomly found a restaurant, and then I met him. What a coincidence, I don't know why it was so coincidental. Then he ate there too, and even paid for me. The video was probably taken secretly, because I didn't know. That's probably it. What's up with young Master Tang? Is he interested in you? Hua Min knew that although Tang Chuan liked to pick up girls, he would never casually post videos and photos on WeChat moments. If one looked closely at Tang Chuan's WeChat moments, they would know that he had never posted photos of girls, nor had he ever publicly admitted to being in a relationship. At least, Hua Min had never seen him with an official girlfriend, so it was quite strange that he had secretly taken photos of Qin Ning. What's so interesting about him? He's crazy. I don't even know him that well. Qin Ning immediately tried to distance herself. Hua Min smiled and looked at Qin Chu. It looks like young Master Tang has taken a liking to our Qin Ning. Hua Min thought that Qin Chu would strongly object. After all, Tang Chuan didn't have a good reputation. However, to his surprise, Qin Chu suddenly said, that guy's not bad, actually. Hua Min, Qin Ning, bro, your daughters told me over and over again not to get too close to that guy. They said that he's not a good person. They said that he's a stud horse who changes women all the time, and that he's a spoiled brat who doesn't know how to earn money. You actually said that he's not bad. You're slapping your daughters in the face, Little Bean, and putting only see his expression. Actually, Tang Chuan isn't that ridiculous. You can't judge a person by their appearance. He looks like a rich playboy, but he's actually very cunning. He's also very loyal, or else he wouldn't have been friends with Su Yu and Wei Liao for so many years. There's a saying that birds of a feather flock together. You'll see what's going on. Don't be fooled by his appearance. After Qin Chu finished speaking, to say, to her husbands, and then gave him a thumbs up. Honey, you're absolutely right, I think so too. You two are the best in the world, even showing off your love is so unexpected. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Qin Ning didn't want to talk too much about Tang Chuan, so she went upstairs to sleep. Hua Min and Qin Chu finished the last pot of flower tea and were about to go upstairs as well. Just then, Hua Min received a WeChat voice message. Chief, bad news. My relationship with Ni Yang has been exposed. Chen Jie's voice was trembling. She was obviously very scared. Hua Min immediately opened the news page on his phone. Sure enough, the headline immediately changed to "Celebrity's relationship exposed, his girlfriend is just an ordinary person, suspected to be a nurse at Southside." Below that was a photo of Ni Yang and Chen Jie holding hands. It wasn't very clear, but from the back, it was clear that it was Ni Yang. It wasn't scary to announce their relationship, but it was scary that Ni Yang wasn't prepared for it. If that happened, the fans' reaction would be very intense. After all, Female fans nowadays were crazy. What's wrong? Chin Chu saw that Huamin was looking down at his phone and didn't say anything. He had a feeling that something bad was going to happen. Someone took a photo of Ni Yang and Chen Jia, and their relationship has just been exposed. This is going to be troublesome. Huamin frowned slightly. Chapter 2093. Imperial Star has been keeping this under wraps for a long time. How did it get exposed? Chin Chu felt like something wasn't right. I can only say that someone did it on purpose, but it's too late to worry about that now. I don't know how Imperial Star is going to deal with this. Ni Yang is a superstar, and I don't even want to think about the repercussions. Huamin was very anxious that something like this happened in the middle of the night. However, the problem was that Ni Yang was no longer GK's favorite artist, so Huamin and Chin Chu couldn't do anything about it. After all, Ni Yang was Su Yu's artist. Huamin called Chen Jia and comforted her. Then, he told her that he would see how things went the next day. The next morning, the situation was already very bad, and all the major media outlets were talking about it. The scariest thing about being an artist was that all the details in their lives were magnified. Therefore, as soon as Ni Yang and Chen Jia's relationship was exposed, crazy fans immediately began digging up information about Chen Jia. They dug up her name, address, ID number, where she worked, the school she went to, and even what her parents did for a living. When Huamin arrived at work, he saw a large crowd of reporters and crazy fans blocking the entrance. At that time, Chen Jia hadn't come to work yet. Huamin had an early meeting in the morning, so he arrived early. Half an hour later, a nurse from another department suddenly came to Huamin with a panicked expression. Vice Director, bad news, Chen Jia, what happened to Jia? Huamin was so scared that he immediately stood up, and his expression changed. When Jia came to work, she was blocked by reporters at the entrance and was attacked by fans. I think she was injured. There were a lot of people there, and we don't know what happened. What should we do? Upon hearing this, Huamin couldn't sit still anymore. He pushed open the door and ran out. As he ran, he ordered the nurses, "Tell the security to come with me." When Huamin arrived at the entrance of the hospital, he saw many people surrounding Chen Jia. Some fans even took out raw eggs and mineral water bottles to help out. Chen Jia, a little girl, squatted there helplessly with her head in her hands. Huamin was instantly enraged. He ran over and violently pushed the crowd aside as he rushed in. Get out of the way, all of you get out of the way. After entering the room, Huamian helped Chen Jia up and covered her head with her hands. Little Jia, are you okay? I'm fine, Chief. Chen Jia's voice began to tremble. Didn't I tell you not to come today? Huamin looked at her with heartache. I thought that you still have surgery this afternoon, and there are still a lot of things to prepare, so, you little girl, you're really silly, Chen Jia, you're so shameless. Give me back my Ni Yang oppa. Some fans scolded irrationally. Chen Jia, who gave you the right? You're not good enough. You're a toad that wants to eat swan meat with Ni Yang. Ni Yang is a swan. You're a disgusting toad. Look at yourself in the mirror. How dare you seduce my idol? You bitch, I'll beat you to death. Yeah, I never dreamed that Ni Yang Oppa would announce his relationship with an ugly bitch and a bitch nurse. Seriously, did you kidnap our Ni Yang Oppa to create hype? The fans' words became more and more vicious, and their emotions became more and more agitated. Then, another mineral water bottle was thrown at Chen Jia. Chen Jia had already lost the will to fight back. Luckily, Huamin reacted quickly and caught the bottle with his bare hands. Chapter 2094. Then, he looked around and scolded, "Are you kids born in the 90s? Born in the 90s? Are you Mao Zhongquan? Are you still in school? Are you skipping class to chase your idol? Can't you stand the news of your idol's relationship being exposed? Let me ask you, even if N.I. Yang wasn't with Jia, would he be with you? Is that what you call chasing idols? That's perverted possessiveness and YY, isn't it? Your parents worked so hard to send you to school, and your teachers worked so hard to teach you how to be a good person, and this is what you learned. You used human flesh to harass and attack the person your idol likes. Are you even human? You're already so old, yet you don't have any basic morals. Who are you? Why are you telling us what to do?" Some fans argued with Huamin. "I don't have the right, haha. Let me tell you, I'm way too qualified. N.I. Yang is like a brother to me. Chen Jia has been my best assistant for the past few years, and they're truly in love. They've always kept a low profile, and their relationship is stable. N.I. Yang didn't expose his relationship because he wanted to protect her. He didn't want her to get hurt, but you did something that hurt your idol the most. If N.I. Yang knew about this, he would be heartbroken. You're lying, N.I. Yang Appa wouldn't care about this ugly duckling. We don't believe you. Believe it or not, that's your business. I won't say too much to you, but I'm telling you, don't come to the hospital and harass my colleagues. Otherwise, I won't let you off the hook." Finally, Huamin glanced at the reporters. "What are you looking at? Go away. This is a hospital, not a place for you to dig for news." Then, Huamin fiercely took Chen Jia into the hospital, and the hospital sent out a large number of security guards to block the reporters outside. In the emergency room, Huamin carefully cleaned Chen Jia's wounds with a first aid kit and changed the bandages. "Does it hurt?" Huamin looked at Jia with concern. She shook her head. You've underestimated the fans. These people are crazy. They don't care about anything. I told you not to come today and wait for this incident to blow over, but you just had to come," Huamin said earnestly. "I didn't think it would be so scary." Chen Jia replied regretfully. "Where's N.I. Yang? He knows about this, right? Have you met him?" "Not yet, but I've been sending him WeChat messages. He's still promoting his new movie in Jing City, and he'll probably be here tonight. He's quite surprised about this, and I don't know how the company will handle it. I'm worried. Chief, do you think I'll affect his career? I don't want that to happen. I don't want him to lose everything because of me." Chen Jia loved N.I. Yang very much. In the beginning, she felt inferior and didn't dare to accept his feelings. But now, she took care of him meticulously. The two of them really had a deep relationship. N.I. Yang was very devoted. In the beginning, he was slightly depressed, so Huamin treated him and made him more cheerful. Later, with Chen Jia's care, he smiled more and more. Therefore, to N.I. Yang, Chen Jia was a very important person. Don't think too much, it won't happen. What era are we in now? Idols don't have to hide their marriages anymore. Nowadays, celebrities use marriage and children to increase their popularity. The image of a good husband and father will be more accepted by the media and the public. N.I. Yang isn't a kid anymore, he can handle this responsibility. Don't worry, we'll discuss what to do when he comes back. Huamin comforted Chen Jia softly. She nodded. Huamin gave Chen Jia the day off and asked her to leave the hospital through the side door. Then, she went home. N.I. Yang also had a simple phone call with Huamin. The gist of it was that he would be in the city tonight and would meet with Huamin. After all, he didn't know who to talk to about this kind of master. At noon, Huamin came back from lunch and saw Su Yu at the door of his office. Su Yu came alone. Chapter 2095. Hi, Dr. Hua. Vice Director Hua. Su Yu liked to see Hua Min in his white lab coat and black-rimmed glasses, so he greeted him with a warm smile. Although he looked a little stiff, he was extremely cute. He didn't look cold and arrogant like he usually did. Instead, he looked much more approachable. President Su, you're a busy man. Why are you here? Hua Min smiled. Then, the two entered the office one after the other. Hua Min poured a glass of water for Su Yu and placed it on the table. Su Yu sat across from her. I'm here to see you. I haven't come to see you since you came back to work. So? You came to see your friend empty-handed. You're so stingy, Hua Min joked. Empty-handed? Who said so? Am I such a stingy person? Here's a present for you. Su Yu magically took out a delicate little box from behind him. Hua Min's eyes lit up when he saw it. Wow, wow, wow. Hairy crabs. Su Yu, you really know me. Hua Min was pleasantly surprised. If Su Yu gave her something expensive, she wouldn't accept it. However, food was an exception. Plus, it was her favorite crab. A few days ago, a client came from Australia and brought me a lot of crabs. I think they're not bad. They're big and tasty. I thought you'd like them. Handsome Su, you know me too well. Hua Min looked at the hairy crab gift like a child. She loved it so much that she couldn't put it down. So, you're not some high and mighty vice director. You're just a silly foodie, right? When Chin Chu pursued you, did you get him with a stick of candied haw? Su Yu asked jealously. How's that possible? Am I such a casual person? Can I agree to a stick of sugar-coated haws? I need at least 3 fingers. Hua Min stretched out 3 fingers. Su Yu, alright, you win. 3 sticks of candied haws. Ah. Chin Chu really came at the right time. He really picked up a big bargain. Their opening remarks were particularly relaxed and funny, so the atmosphere wasn't as awkward as before. Actually, every time they met, Hua Min was fine. He always felt like Su Yu was an old friend. As long as Su Yu didn't confess, the relationship between them wasn't that complicated. This time, after Chin Chu came back, Su Yu didn't mention anything about the two of them. She was no longer as close to her as before. She maintained a suitable distance so as not to make things difficult for Hua Min. Therefore, Hua Min was truly grateful to Su Yu for everything he had done for her. Milk Tea Lu Roying had a song called Love You So Much. There was a line in the song that went, if I returned to the position of a good friend, you wouldn't have to be in such a difficult position. I love you so much, so I'm willing to let you fly to a happier place. I love you so much, so I'll let you have love, so that I can be at ease. Perhaps this was the portrayal of Su Yu's heart. Lord Su, thank you for the hairy crabs. Chapter 2096. Why are you asking me about something this big? Hua Min thought that Su Yu already had a plan and wouldn't be asking for her opinion. But now, it seemed like that wasn't the case. Yeah, I trust you. So, Dr. Hua, please do me a favor. Su Yu smiled. There are so many people in Imperial Star's PR team, why would I be needed? Lord Su, don't mess around. Hua Min wasn't someone who liked to be in the limelight, so she still tried to evade Su Yu's request. Don't be so polite, we're already so close. Ni Yang is like a brother to you and Chen Jia is your assistant, so I have to discuss this with you. PSH. Lord Su, you're flattering me again. Let's put it this way, what do you mean? After all, you're the big boss of Ni Yang's company, so you have the most say in this. Me? Actually, it's hard to say. For a man, it's a question of who's more important. If Ni Yang announces his relationship, his fan base will drop a lot. A lot of girls have fantasies about their idols. If they know that their idols are in a relationship and are even getting married, they might not pay for his new movie or album. Ni Yang's career will definitely be affected. If Ni Yang doesn't want to lose fans and wants to stay popular for a few more years, then I think he should deny his relationship with Qin Jia. Then, our company can release a statement and pretend to hold the person responsible. That way, the matter will be suppressed. But if we do that, it might hurt the girl who is your assistant. After all, people will think that she's a scheming woman who wants to become famous. She might have a hard time in the future. It's all up to Ni Yang. No matter what he chooses, I'll respect him. After all, Imperial Star isn't a company that prioritizes profits. What do you think? After Su Yute spoke his mind, he asked Huamin for his opinion. Huamin listened quietly and nodded. I agree with what you said. It's perfect. Given the current situation, there are only two options. We can either go public or continue to hide it. But we can't make the decision. Let's wait for Ni Yang to come back. He said that he'll come to the city tonight to see me. Let's go together. We can talk about this. Okay, I'll have a meal with you. Su Yu was in a good mood. Huamin smiled, but didn't say anything. But if that's the case, won't your husband get jealous? Why don't we ask him to come too? Su Yu was worried that Qin Chu would misunderstand. Huamin chuckled when he heard that. What are you laughing at? Su Yu was confused. I'm laughing at you. You're thinking too much. My Mr. Qin wouldn't misunderstand me so easily. We've known each other for so many years. If we don't even have that much chemistry, how can we be husband and wife? When Huamin said this, a happy smile appeared on his face. It was a smile that came from the bottom of his heart and couldn't be faked. To be honest, Su Yu was conflicted. On one hand, he wanted Huamin to be happy. He wanted them to be happy forever. On the other hand, he was jealous of Qin Chu. He knew Huamin when he was young and had her for the rest of her life, both now and in the future. For a married couple, the best relationship wasn't unforgettable. It wasn't asking about each other's well-being. It wasn't talking about love every day. However, it was using actions to prove their love and trust each other unconditionally. That was the rarest of all. Okay. I give up. Upon hearing Huamin's words, Su Yute smiled slightly and didn't say anything else. After discussing this matter with Su Yu left. He planned to discuss this matter with Ni Yang over dinner when he got here. Rumors about Ni Yang were still spreading outside. Qin Jia followed Huamin's instructions and didn't dare to leave the house. When she got off work that night, Qin Chu video called her. Hello, Mr. Qin, it's time to get off work. Do you want me to pick you up? Qin Chu asked gently. No, it's okay. I have a date tonight. A date? Dr. Hua, how dare you act so brazenly in front of your husband? Qin Chu pretended to be serious. Chapter 2097. Yeah, and I'm having dinner with Su Yu. So, are we still going to live like this? Qin Chu smiled as he looked at Huamian. But, we're getting divorced tomorrow. Pudding is mine and Little Bean is yours. Huamin began to separate. Why do you get pudding and I get Little Bean? Mr. Chin asked angrily. Because Little Bean eats too much. I'm worried that I won't be able to raise her, haha. Huamin couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, I'm going to record this video and show it to Little Bean. I'm going to show her her mommy's true colors. Ahem. Don't do that, Little Bean is hard to appease. Mr. Chin, don't cause trouble. Huamin immediately stopped bragging. So, you're really just having dinner with Suyu tonight? As expected, Mr. Chin still cared about this. Yeah, so do you want to come or not? Huamin purposely tried to piss him off. Whatever, since you're going on a date, I'll go on a date too. I'm going to take 2 beautiful women out for steak, 2 peerless beauties. Huamian repeated. Yeah. Mr. Chin said proudly. Hey, you're itching for a beating, aren't you? So, you're saying that you're only allowed to do whatever you want, but we're not allowed to do anything, right? Chin Chu retorted. Yeah, what do you think? You don't like it? Bite me. Huamin stuck out his tongue. Honey, when you're shameless, you're really scary. Mr. Chin complimented. Ha 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 ha. Huamin laughed so hard that he couldn't stop laughing. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm going to pick up 2 beautiful women for dinner, okay, go. Tell them that mommy will be home late tonight, so be good. Huamin knew that the 2 beauties Chin Chu was talking about were Pudding and Little Bean. I'll tell them the truth and say that their mommy and Suyu are dating. Well, that's what happened. Someone is still jealous. Alright. I'm not having dinner with Suyu alone. Ni Yang will be back too. We'll discuss how to deal with Ni Yang's matter. Emichim, that's more like it. I approve. Mr. Chin's tone was extremely domineering. What the, you're pretending to be an emperor with me. Huamin snickered. How is it? Not convinced? That's right, I'm not convinced, then why don't you bite me? Chin Chu immediately applied what he had learned. Okay, just you wait. I'll bite you to death when I get home tonight. Huamin purposely opened his mouth wide to scare him. Emichim, I'll leave bite marks all over my body. Those are marks of love. Honey, do you want to change into black stockings or something? It'll be even better with a whip in your hand. Huamin was speechless. You're a pervert. Mr. Chin's words were always full of hidden meanings. They were only talking about biting, but he forcefully changed the topic to stockings and a whip. Huamin was speechless. Honey. I'll wait for you at home tonight. I'll wash myself clean and wait for you. Bye. Chapter 2098. Don't say that, it's not your fault. No matter how vigilant a celebrity is, they can't avoid the paparazzi. Now, we need to talk about how to deal with this problem. Your sister Mian and I have discussed 2 plans, you can choose. Then, Suyu repeated what he said to Huamin in front of Ni Yang and Chinjia. After hearing what he said, Ni Yang replied without hesitation, President Su, I want to make our relationship public. No, it'll affect your career. I don't want to. President Su, don't make it public. Tell the PR team to write a statement saying that I used Ni Yang to create hype. I can't ruin his future. Chen Jie's expression changed. She was scared out of her wits. She didn't want Ni Yang's future to be ruined because of her. She would die of guilt if that happened. How can I do that? I can't let a girl bear so much pressure. Plus, we're lovers. I've always wanted to make our relationship public. I've had enough of sneaking around. Why don't we just make it public? We're going to get married anyway. Ni Yang held Chen Jie's hand even tighter. Chen Jie, however, refused to agree. She shook her head with tears in her eyes. Sister Mian, please talk to him. I don't want him to do this for me. Chen Jie was so anxious that she was about to cry. Hua Mian could empathize with his feelings of wanting the best for the other person, so she comforted Chen Jie. Jie, don't worry. Ni Yang is an adult. I don't think he can hide it forever. If someone takes photos of you too, he'll lose all credibility. So, I think it's a good thing that Ni Yang made your relationship public. It shows that he loves you more than his career. You should be happy that such a man loves you so much. I understand, but I still... Chen Jie choked on her words. That's enough, Jie. Did you hear what Sister Mian said? It's really nothing. For me, fame, money, and status aren't the most important things. I told you that even if I quit the entertainment industry, the money I make will be enough for us to spend for the rest of our lives. So, what are you worried about? Ni Yang raised his finger and touched Chen Jie's nose lovingly. But I don't want to be a burden to you. Chen Jie leaned her head on Ni Yang's shoulder and cried. Silly girl, you didn't drag me down. I'm so happy now that I have you. My world is so warm. To Ni Yang, nothing was more important than the smile of his lover. Therefore, after this incident, he even considered quitting the entertainment industry. He didn't want to let Chen Jie suffer any grievances. So, you're going to announce your relationship to the public, right? Su Yu asked again. President Su, I'm sorry. I know I'm selfish and doing this might affect the company's interests, but I really can't let Jie suffer. She's been with me all this time, and it's not been easy for her. Sometimes, when I want to watch a movie with her, we have to sneak in. We'll go in after everyone else goes in, and then we'll come out after everyone else comes out. She doesn't dare to post anything on her WeChat moments or post anything on my Weibo because she's afraid people will find out. This kind of relationship is too much for her. She's the girl I want to be with for the rest of my life, so I want to give her a status. I was planning to propose to her during my vacation this year, but now that this happened, I can go public. Ni Yang apologized to Su Yu first because he knew it was selfish of him to do this. However, judging from his attitude, it seemed like he was determined to go public with their relationship. Nothing was more important than Chen Jie. Ni Yang, how can you be so stubborn? You've worked so hard all these years, you can't let it all fall apart because of me. Chen Jie said anxiously. Compared to you, this is nothing. Ni Yang gently stroked Chen Jie's bangs. So, you two are here to flaunt your love, right? You want to torture a single dog like me? Su Yu asked out of the blue. Hua Min almost burst out laughing when he heard this. Chapter 2099. President Su, that's not what I meant. Ni Yang said awkwardly. Chen Jie quickly looked up, wiped her tears, and explained, President Su, don't misunderstand. I just don't want him to do that for me, but he's not that stubborn. It was understandable for two young couples in love to be considerate of each other. I understand, you don't have to explain. Since this is Ni Yang's idea, then let's do it. You don't have to worry about the company. Imperial Star doesn't need that money. Don't worry, you can make up your mind, Su Yu said calmly, as if he had already predicted Ni Yang's decision. Ni Yang and Chen Jie had been dating for 3 or 4 years. Their relationship had always been stable and they had never even fought. Ni Yang had a history of depression, so Chen Jie took care of him very carefully and treated him very well. Then, she would never feel wronged. Such a girl was low-key, gentle, and virtuous. Huamin thought that she was perfect for Ni Yang's personality and career. It would be Ni Yang's bad luck if his girlfriend was an immature girl with princess syndrome. President Su, I'm so sorry. Ni Yang still felt sorry for Su Yu. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's eat. Su Yu turned around and said, Waiter, bring the food. Just like that, the four of them quickly decided on how to deal with the situation. An hour later, the four of them finished eating and left the private club. Ni Yang posted on Weibo, and the photo below it was the one that the paparazzi had taken. Ni Yang added, Yes, I'm in love. She's a really good girl. If you really love me, don't hurt her or harass her. Thank you. It was a simple sentence, but it caused an uproar and immediately became one of the most searched topics on Weibo. Then, all the headlines changed to, Superstar Ni Yang admits his girlfriend is an outsider. Ni Yang's Weibo post was also forwarded by some of his friends in the industry. Even the female artists in the same company as him were trying to gain some popularity. Jian Tong also reposted the post and said hypocritically, Little brother Ni Yang, I wish you all the best. I hope you two will always be happy. Although his friends in the industry approved of him, his fans were very extreme. Perhaps someone had deliberately paid the internet water army to maliciously smear Ni Yang's reputation, so many fans were cursing and even spreading rumors under Ni Yang's Weibo. What superstar idol? He's just a sissy, this girlfriend is fake, right? She's just cannon fodder. Don't you like men? Liar, big liar. How can you have a girlfriend, woo-woo, Ni Yang oppa? That slut doesn't deserve you. Come into my arms. Ni Yang's Weibo post was flipped upside down. Within an hour, it had been forwarded 200,000 times, liked 280,000 times, and commented on over 300,000 times. This was unprecedented. At least, of all the posts Ni Yang had made, none of them had been so controversial. When Huamin drove home, the twins were still awake. They were downstairs in their nightgowns, playing checkers with Qin Chu. The two sisters sat on one side. Qin Chu sat on the other side, while Qin Ning ordered her brother around while eating fruit. Auntie, you're a real gentleman. Little Bean looked up, clearly dissatisfied. I'm sorry, Qin Mumu, but I'm not a gentleman, I'm a girl. Qin Ning deliberately argued with Little Bean. Humph. Only girls and villains are difficult to deal with. Little Bean retorted. Ha ha ha. You're even scolding yourself. You and Little Bean are girls too. Qin Ning burst into laughter. No, we're girls. Auntie, we're still young. Little Bean argued. So, Little Bean, do you include mommy in your words? Mommy is a girl too. Huamin took off his jacket and interrupted with a smile. Chapter 2100. How can that be? Mommy isn't a girl. Little Bean immediately responded. Then what's mommy? Huamin felt awkward when he heard this. You're saying mommy isn't a girl but a man. Look at you, Little Bean. Qin Ning gloated at Little Bean's predicament. Pfft, no, mommy's a young married woman, so she's not a girl. Auntie isn't married yet, so she's a girl. Little Bean explained. Young married woman, okay, Little Bean, your definition of mommy is very accurate. Huamin was speechless. How could a 3-year-old kid know the word young married woman? How evil. Someone's back from a date. Qin Chu looked up at Huamin with a smile. Yeah, how did it go? Great, we've reached a consensus. Didn't you see the news? You guys. N.I. Yang announced his relationship. Good job, Uncle N.I. Yang. You're a good man to your girlfriend. Pudding, who had been silent the whole time, commented as she played chess like a little adult. Yeah, Uncle Jishin, you're right. You just lack courage. If you want to date Auntie Bella, then go ahead and date her. Don't be so shy, you're not a man. Little Bean complained. Kids shouldn't meddle in adult business. Go to bed, it's already past 10 a.m. Huamin looked at his phone and saw that it was already past 10 a.m. Daddy, you lost again. Pudding said calmly. Okay, Little Bean, what do you want this time? Chin Chu seemed to have prepared himself for this. I want $1 million from Daddy, US dollars. Pudding said, and everyone was confused. Sis, are you crazy? Didn't I tell you to take it little by little? You'll scare Daddy. Little Bean reminded Pudding. Pudding, are you trying to rob your father? This isn't a game of chess, this is robbery. Qi Ning was speechless. So, Pudding, can you tell me why you need so much money? Huamin walked over and sat beside Pudding. Huamin couldn't remain calm when his 3-year-old daughter suddenly asked for $1 million. Can I not tell you? Pudding asked mysteriously. Huamin, Qi Ning, you don't have to say it, baby. Daddy just promised you one thing if you lose, so I will definitely keep my promise. After speaking, Chin Chu took out his phone. Can I transfer my bank card to you? Honey, are you really going to give her that much money? Huamin pursed her lips. Of course, we can't lie to our children. We have to do what we say. Pudding was willful and greedy, and Chin Chu was even more willful. Huamian was also at a loss. Bro, you're so nice. In my next life, I hope to be reborn into your family. Qi Ning said enviously. I don't want such a worrisome daughter like you. Chin Chu retorted. Qi Ning, at this moment, a notification sound rang out. The money has been transferred, baby, check it. I don't need to check, I trust Daddy. Okay, let's call it a day. I'm a little tired, I'm going to bed. Pudding stood up proudly and yawned. Little Bean followed behind her and asked, Sis, do you want a massage? You've been sitting all night and you're tired, sure, how about a massage here? Pudding pointed at her left shoulder. Then, she walked upstairs as she spoke, Sis, you just won $1 million, how do you feel right now? Little Bean asked as she walked. Emichim, I regret asking for less. After Pudding said this, Huamin and Qin Ning almost fell to the ground. Mr. Qin, on the other hand, was very calm. He even said a little proudly, Pudding really does look like me when I was young. The conversation between the two sisters made the adults burst out laughing. They thought that N.I. Yang's incident was over, but who knew that something big would happen that night? At 11:30 p.m., Huamin received a WeChat voice message from Su Yu. Huamin, are you asleep? Chapter 2101. By this time, Huamin had already fallen asleep due to exhaustion. Chin Chu picked up her phone and sent a text message to Su Yu, she's already asleep. Oh. Su Yu was a little embarrassed, as he was afraid to disturb the couple. Chin Chu followed Su Yu's instructions and read the news. Sure enough, there was a new development in N.I. Yang's matter. Because N.I. Yang was a very popular superstar, even the slightest bit of news about him would attract a lot of attention. Originally, they thought that with Su Yu's acquiescence, N.I. Yang's public announcement of their relationship would calm the storm. Unexpectedly, that night, someone posted on a well-known forum, revealing Ni Yang's family background. His parents' scandal, his mother had a child with another man, and was indecent. Ni Yang was a hooligan when he was young. He was extremely bad, had a lot of bad records, and was uneducated. Qin Chu knew about Huamin's feelings for Ni Yang, so he frowned after reading the news. How do you plan to deal with this matter? Qin Chu typed to Suyu, still using Huamin's WeChat. We didn't want things to turn out this way. Currently, I can only ask the company to release a PR statement, to clarify that someone is spreading rumors, and then send a lawyer's letter or something. As for the follow-up, we'll see how things develop. Okay, let the company release it first. When she wakes up tomorrow, I'll let her know, Qin Chu replied. Okay. Suyu was too embarrassed to say more. The next morning, when Huamin woke up in the morning, Qin Chu told her about the matter. Huamin immediately turned on her phone and scrolled through the chat history between the two men. After learning about the matter, her face turned cold. Honey, what are you thinking about? Qin Chu asked. I'm thinking that this definitely wasn't a coincidence, and that the paparazzi didn't purposely dig deeper into Ni Yang's past. Someone did it on purpose. Ni Yang has an enemy. Qin Chu raised his eyebrows. Sometimes, in the entertainment industry, it's not as simple as having an enemy. Once someone's interests are involved, things can become complicated and confusing. Huamin's words were very vague. What do you plan to do now? I think it's time for me to meet someone and talk to her. Huamian said calmly. Looking at her eyes, Qin Chu guessed who she was. Can I go with you? Qin Chu volunteered. Huamin hugged his broad shoulders coquettishly. Hey, you don't have to do this yourself. I can handle it myself. Don't worry, trust your wife. Okay, if you run into any trouble, call me immediately. Okay, I'll head out now. I have an early meeting in the morning. You haven't eaten yet. Qin Chu frowned. I don't have time to eat. Huamin got up, washed up, and began to clean up. When she was done, she saw a small sandwich and a carton of milk on the table. My husband is getting warmer and warmer. Huamin happily ate her breakfast and left in a hurry. At the breakfast table, only the twins, Qin Ning and Qin Chu, were left. Daddy, have you ever thought that letting Mommy go back to Southside was a bad decision? Pudding looked at Qin Chu as she ate her breakfast. Baby, why do you say that? Qin Chu looked up at his eldest daughter curiously. Chapter 2102. It's because I realized that President Hua is even busier now that he's Dr. Hua. He used to spend weekends with us, but now he's either having surgeries or morning meetings. Pudding complained. Little Bean said, Sis, I'm not what you think. I'm the exact opposite. It's good that Mommy's busy. Otherwise, she'll be bored all day and we won't be able to handle it. So, it's a good thing that Mommy has something to do. Daddy, you're doing the right thing. Qin Chu, ha ha ha, big bro, your kids are amazing. They're already planning their parents' careers. Okay, girls, Daddy understands what you mean. So, can I explain now? Qin Chu slowly took a sip of milk. The twins looked at their father seriously, waiting for him to continue. Daddy loves your mommy very much. Qin Chu said. You don't have to emphasize this over and over again. After all, everyone on Earth knows. This time, even Little Bean was proud. Ahem. Okay, let's get to the point. I love her, so I'll always support her decisions. I want her to do what she likes, whether it's a high-class job or a low-class job. As long as she likes it, I'm willing to let her do it. Your mommy's dream when she was young was to be a doctor, and that hasn't changed. Daddy's dream when he was young was to fulfill your mommy's dream. Letting her live her life the way she likes is the proudest thing in my life. Chin Chu said seriously even though he was talking to kids. Even Chin Ning's eyes were brimming with tears. Hey, why didn't I meet a man as good as you when I was young? He loves me as much as you love sis-in-law. Chin Ning said enviously. Okay, Daddy, you win. Mommy is a priceless treasure in your eyes. Pudding shrugged helplessly. That's right. Mommy is definitely more important than us in Daddy's heart, Little Bean added. No, don't say that. You two are as important to Daddy as your mommy, Chin Chu emphasized. He didn't want his daughters to get jealous. If that's the case, then we're still at a disadvantage. Little Bean pouted. Why? Chin Ning looked at her niece curiously. Because we're two people and mommy is one person. So, we're only as important as mommy. So, we're still at a disadvantage in terms of numbers. Chin Chu, Chin, Pudding reached out her hand and pinched Little Bean's little cheeks. So, sis, can you buy me a car full of Haagen-Dazs? Little Bean licked her lips. Foodie. Can you be a little more ambitious? Pudding was exasperated at Ho Mian's failure to live up to her expectations. No, I don't need to be ambitious. Because 3 of us are financially savvy and know how to make money. I only need to know how to spend money. If I run out of money, I can just say, Mommy, Daddy, sis. I'm broke again, so don't waste my time. Just give me the money. Little Bean said as she gestured with her chubby little hands. Little Bean's words made Chin Ning and Chin Chu laugh. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.